Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. The demon clan signed in and I became an invincible boss. Chapter 21. At this moment, hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingqian immediately shouted excitedly. System, fused sword realm. Ding, the system is merging the sword realm. Congratulations to the host for successfully merging the sword realm, because the host is a chaotic body of the avenue, and his luck is against the heavens. He can directly comprehend the highest level, the realm of the realm. As soon as the system finished speaking, Yi Xingqian discovered that in the depths of his sea of consciousness, sitting cross-legged with a majestic look on his face, the extremely domineering divine infant appeared in his left hand, and a sword field exuding the aura of death appeared. This realm of swords is shimmering with divine light, but it contains the cold meaning of death, which is contrary to the true alchemy solution that exudes a strong breath of life in its right hand. On the left and right, the divine infant that sets off Yi Xingqian is like a god who controls life and death, exuding unchallenged majesty and awe. Feeling the incomparable majesty of the divine infant in the sea of consciousness, Yi Xingqian's lips curled up slightly. Now he could easily control the life and death of others. This feeling was so good. Picking up the fishing rod, he leisurely walked to the pavilion in the middle of the lake. This place has become Yi Xingqian's exclusive place. Lying on the chair very comfortably, Yi Xingqian threw the fishing rod out. Thinking of the wedding gift package that the system rewarded him with last night, Yi Xingqian said directly to the system. System, open the wedding gift package. Ding, the system is opening the wedding gift package. Congratulations to the host for receiving the gift package reward, 1 million bottles of the best divine wine. Ding, the system is opening the wedding gift package. Congratulations to the host for receiving the gift package reward, 1 million top-quality fairy stones. After waiting for a while, Yi Xingqian found that the system had no sound, and was slightly stunned. System, is this the wedding gift package you rewarded? You rewarded me with 1 million bottles of wine. 1 million top-quality immortal stones. Although this wine should be good, it's too little to reward these two things. At least reward some heaven-level martial arts, comprehension qualifications and other elixirs. Ding, host, please be aware that the wedding gift package is given by the system and is used for the host's wedding. It is not a reward for the host's destiny sign-in. Moreover, this wine has been improved by the system and is unique in the entire Shenhuang continent. After drinking it, the aroma of the wine will overflow and the taste will be mellow. It can also quickly replenish the power of the fairy spirit in the body and increase the cultivation level. It is comparable to the fairy elixir. If the host does not like it, this system can take it back. Yi Xingqian's eyes lit up when he heard what the system said. This wine is good. After the improvement of the system, it is already comparable to a fairy elixir. You would be a fool if you didn't. I like it. This host likes it. It's indeed a product produced by the system. It's awesome. This host likes it so much. Don't take it back. Don't take it back. Hearing that the system was about to take back the reward, Yi Xingqian immediately spoke up. System. Looking at the millions of bottles of the system's special top-grade wine and millions of top-grade fairy stones in the system space, Yi Xingqian was so happy. Thinking of the wine brewed by the demon clan that I drank yesterday, it was not only bitter and tasteless in the mouth, but also had an extremely low alcohol content. It was like taking a sip of Chinese medicine with a faint taste of alcohol, which was really unacceptable to Yi Xingqian, who was a good drinker. Lying on the chair, Yi Xingqian casually took out a bottle from the system space, took it in his hand, and examined it carefully. The body of the bottle is the color of white jade, exuding a soft light. This bottle is actually made of spirit stones. This is simply a generous act. The spirit energy in the spirit stones can be used to nourish the wine anytime and anywhere. It would be strange if it is not the best. In the entire Shenhuang continent, the wine worthy of being held by spirit stones is not the best of the best, and the main trading currency in the Shenhuang continent is spirit stones. Of course, there are also extremely rare immortal stones, divine stones, and spiritual stones that can not only be used for trading, but also for cultivation to speed up cultivation. They are basically not top powers or supreme powers, and no one will use spiritual stones to hold drinks. What a waste. It can be seen from this that the wedding gift given to him by the system is astonishing. Not to mention the fine wine in it, the bottle made of 1 million spiritual stones is already a considerable fortune. And there is also 1 million top-quality immortal stones, which is already a reward that can make countless people crazy. He was still not satisfied. He was really unsatisfied. At this moment, Yi Xingqian instantly realized that he was drifting. After cursing himself in his heart, he opened the cap of the bottle and poured it into his mouth. Sure enough, as the system said, the wine is mellow in the mouth and tastes like a divine realm above the clouds. Every sip is like tasting the charm of the stars. The unique sweet and sour interweaving and dense taste make people feel like they are walking in the long river of time. Okay. The most important thing is the rich fairy spirit in the wine, which is worthy of the improvement of the system. Although for Yi Xingqian, the wine does not have much effect, that is because Yi Xingqian is too powerful, but for others it is the best divine wine. Yi Xingqian only took a sip and found out that this wine was effective on the powerful immortal emperor, and could also slowly increase his cultivation. In addition, the taste was mellow and soft, and the aroma was overflowing. It was said to be the best divine wine. Unknowingly, Yi Xingqian had half of the divine wine in his hand. The wine was indeed delicious, but the score was also high. After putting the remaining half bottle into the system space, Yi Xingqian slowly closed his eyes. He actually fell into a deep sleep. When Yi Xingqian woke up, he found that the sky had darkened, stars were shining all over the sky, and a huge moon hung across the sky for 9 days. At this time, Yi Xingqian discovered a familiar figure sitting quietly next to him. The figure noticed that Yi Xingqian woke up and turned to look at Yi Xingqian gently. "Husband, are you awake?" Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian looked at the beautiful woman in front of him with tenderness in his heart. "When did you come, madam? Why didn't you wake up your husband? Shanur has just been here for a while." She saw that her husband was sleeping soundly, so she didn't want to disturb her. There's nothing wrong anyway. She just wanted to stay with her husband. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian's lips curled up slightly and she spoke softly. However, Yi Xingqian saw a hint of hidden fatigue, anger and helplessness in Luo Qingxian's eyes. Maybe he was afraid that he would be worried, but Luo Qingxian didn't show it on his appearance. Seeing that Luo Qingxian had no intention of saying anything, Yi Xingqian reached out and took Luo Qingxian's jade hand, then turned to look at Luo Qingxian tenderly. "Madam, what's bothering you? Can you tell me to your husband?" Hearing her husband's words, a trace of hesitation flashed in Luo Qingxian's eyes. Although her husband was amazing in literary talent, his strength was too low, and he couldn't solve it even if he told her, so why bother letting him bother her? Turning to look at the man with unparalleled temperament next to her, Luo Qingxian was about to say that it was okay, but seeing the tenderness in her husband's eyes, Luo Qingxian couldn't bear to deceive Yi Xingqian. Seeing the struggle in Luo Qingxian's eyes, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and directly took Luo Qingxian's hand. Amidst Luo Qingxian's shy exclamation, he suddenly pulled Luo Qingxian into his arms and looked at the shy demon empress gave Yi Xingqian a sense of accomplishment. "Madam, you and I are one husband and wife. If you have anything, you can talk to your husband. Even though your strength is low, he may be able to help you with some things. After all, 3 cobblers are as good as Zhuge Liang." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian patted Yi Xingqian's chest reluctantly. Luo Qingxian, who had been in the human race for many years, of course knew what the human race said and said shyly. "The husband is the cobbler." After saying that, Luo Qingxian burst into laughter, and her originally irritable mood instantly improved a lot. Looking at her husband with a smile on his face, Luo Qingxian gave Yi Xingqian a charming look before speaking out. "Originally I didn't want to tell my husband, but my husband was also troubled by Shanur. Now that my husband has asked, Shanur doesn't want to deceive him." After taking a look at Yi Xingqian, who looked attentively listening, Luo Qingxian then said softly. "Although our demon clan can rely on absorbing the power of fairy spirits in the air to improve our own realm, we still need a lot of spiritual stones to assist in cultivation. Besides, many elixirs also need to be purchased with spirit stones, such as elixirs to restore the power of the fairy spirit in the body, elixirs to restore qi and blood, elixirs to treat injuries, etc. My husband should know that in the Shenhuang continent, all the people who can become alchemists are from the human race, and even in the human race, alchemists are extremely rare. It can be said that even the most ordinary alchemists are the objects of crazy competition by all the major forces." Quote, "Fortunately, although our demon tribe cannot refine elixirs, there are countless spiritual herbs and elixirs in the entire demon tribe's domain. We often use these spiritual herbs and elixirs to exchange spiritual stones with the human race. Not only can the tribesmen use them to improve their cultivation, but we can also purchase various needed elixirs from the human race. Speaking of this, Yi Xingchen saw a flash of anger and unwillingness in Luo Qingshan's eyes, patted Luo Qingshan's hand gently, and smiled tenderly. Is it because the people from the human race who came to buy our medicinal materials lowered the price of the medicinal materials a lot that made the lady so angry? Seeing the anger in Luo Qingshan's eyes, Yi Xingchen instantly guessed the reason and said with a chuckle. Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan nodded slightly and said helplessly. Shanur once went to the human race, hoping to hire an alchemist. Even if Shanur maximized the benefits, no alchemist was willing to come to the demon clan. Now our demon clan has a treasure mountain and endless elixirs, but no alchemist. The law of self-sufficiency can only allow human beings to keep lowering the price of medicines, but there is no way. Hearing Luo Qingshan's helpless words, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly. Is this why my lady is worried? It's better if we don't sell it to them. Can't we go to the human territory and sell it ourselves? After hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan said aloud. Shanur once had the same idea and took people to sell medicinal materials in the human territory. However, all the alchemists there basically came from the Shangqing Palace. No one was willing or dared to accept the medicinal materials from the demon clan. Even if we got the medicinal materials, the medicine is much more effective than the human race, but no one is willing to buy it. I'm afraid of offending the Shangqing Palace. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen instantly understood that this was a typical monopoly strategy. Knowing that the demon clan needs spiritual stones, but there is no alchemist, they can only earn spiritual stones by selling medicinal materials to maintain the needs of the demon clan. As the #1 alchemy force in the human race, the Shangqing Palace has the right to speak. It doesn't have the final say on the price of medicinal materials. This is letting others seize on their weakness. Thinking of this, Yi Xingchen looked at the anger in Luo Qingshan's eyes, smiled slightly, and said, Madam, you must be from the Shangqing Palace to buy medicinal materials from our demon clan. Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan nodded and said softly, Yeah. Seeing his wife's troubled and helpless look, Yi Xingchen felt unhappy. She was bullying others too much. It was okay to bully others, but it was absolutely not allowed to bully his own wife. Madam, do you believe your husband? Hearing Yi Xingchen's words and looking at Yi Xingchen's serious look, Luo Qingshan smiled slightly and said softly. You are Shanur's husband and the person closest to Shanur. Of course Shanur trusts your husband. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen felt proud. Only he could do this for the demon empress. Yi Xingchen knew in his heart that Luo Qingshan, as the empress of the demon clan, was definitely a woman with imperial domineering power. Now she is like an ordinary little girl, lying in her arms, showing her truest side. This is because Luo Qingshan regards herself as the person she loves most. At this moment, when Yi Xingchen heard Luo Qingshan's words, his heart was filled with tenderness and he said to Luo Qingshan, Madam, those people who went to the Qing Palace should not have gone back yet. Well, the price they set this time is too low, so Shanur hasn't agreed to them yet. If they haven't reached an agreement by tomorrow at the latest, I'm afraid they will go back. I'm afraid all the medicinal materials picked by the demon clan will be wasted. Hearing the helplessness in Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen hugged Luo Qingshan tightly and said softly, Since I trust my husband, I will leave the medicinal materials to him tomorrow. I don't need to worry about other things. My husband will help you solve this problem. Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan's eyes flashed with tenderness. Although she knew that even if Yi Xingchen went, she would not be able to solve the problem of medicinal materials, but she still nodded. Because Luo Qingshan didn't want to refute Yi Xingchen's face at this moment. Luo Qingshan, who had been in the human race for more than 10 years, knew very well that human men cared about their own face. Since her husband wants to do something for her, Luo Qingshan will only fully support it. At worst, in the end, she will take care of it for her husband. Seeing Luo Qingshan nod, Yi Xingchen picked her up and headed towards Fengqi Palace amid Luo Qingshan's exclamations. At this moment, Luo Qingshan looked shy, hiding in Yi Xingchen's arms, her heart beating violently. The scene changes. In a luxurious room, a white-haired old man with wrinkles on his face was sitting there with a proud face, drinking fragrant tea. The aura exuding from his body turned out to be a strong immortal emperor. A middle-aged man next to him was also smiling at the moment, and said proudly to the white-haired old man, "Father, this time we have lowered the price of the demon clan's medicinal materials again, and we can make a lot of money again. The demon clan has a treasure mountain, but no alchemist, so we can only continue to squeeze it. As long as they still need it for elixirs and spiritual stones, you have to sell the medicinal materials to us." Hearing the middle-aged man's words, the white-haired old man became even more proud and said leisurely, "This price has reached the bottom line of the demon clan. If Luo Qingshan still doesn't agree tomorrow, we will raise the price slightly. After all, the demon clan's medicinal materials are not only several times more effective than human clan medicinal materials, but the price is even higher than that of human clan medicinal materials." 1/5. Hearing what the white-haired old man said, the middle-aged man nodded and then said, "I heard that Luo Qingshan actually got married, and Dadao came to congratulate her in person. I don't know who could be the one to capture such a beauty." At this moment, the middle-aged man thought of Luo Qingshan's perfect figure, and his eyes flashed with fiery light. "HMPH. You'd better not have any evil thoughts. After all, Luo Qingshan is the empress of the clan. The reason why she can be so polite to us is because she wants something from us. Otherwise, do you think that the empress of a clan would personally receive us every time? And she would also endure our unreasonable demands again and again. If there was an alchemist in the demon clan, Luo Qingshan would not receive us personally, let alone tolerate our unreasonableness. I'm afraid that we, father and son, have been thrown out of the demon clan's territory a long time ago. So you'd better put your little thoughts away. Luo Qingshan is not a good person. She is a famous female empress of the demon clan in the human race." After hearing his father's words, the middle-aged man suddenly woke up, smiled and said nothing, but there was still a touch of fire hidden deep in his eyes. At this moment, the middle-aged man suddenly woke up after hearing his father's words. He smiled and said nothing, but there was still a touch of fire hidden deep in his eyes. Early the next morning, Yi Xingqian was sleeping in a daze when he suddenly found that his nose was itchy. When he opened his eyes, he found Luo Qingshan lying in his arms and tickling him with her hair. Yi Xingqian stretched out his right hand and casually climbed up a huge mountain. Luo Qingshan, who was smiling, instantly blushed, moaned, and gave her husband a fierce look. With this glance, Luo Qingshan seemed to feel something. She jumped away from Yi Xingqian with a blush on her face, but was pulled into her arms by Yi Xingqian. She looked at the deep affection and passion in Yi Xingqian's eyes. Luo Qingshan said softly with some stuttering, Husband, it's dawn, we should get up." However, Yi Xingqian seemed not to hear Luo Qingshan's words, slowly lowered his head, and kissed Luo Qingshan's cherry lips tenderly. When the two woke up again, it was almost noon. Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingshan, whose face was covered with red clouds, and felt proud in his heart. Looking at Yi Xingqian, who looked proud and laughing, Luo Qingshan rolled her eyes, but her heart was full of tenderness. While the two were playing around, they were all dressed up. Yi Xingqian was hugged by Luo Qingshan and came to the living room while Luo Qingshan was shy. Qinger, who had been waiting there for a long time, felt happy when she saw that the Empress and Emperor Zun were so sweet. It seemed that the Empress had really met someone she liked. Just like congratulations, Emperor Zun was really the Empress. God-given marriage. The two of them, under the service of Qinger, had just finished lunch when a man in black robe came to report, saying that someone from the Shangqing Palace had said that if the Empress did not appear again, they would have no choice but to leave. The elder had no choice but to ask the man in black robe to come and inform the Empress. Yi Xingqian knew that the man in black robe was Luo Qingshan's guard leader, Wei Donglai, who was in the Immortal King realm, taciturn, extremely steady and loyal. At this moment, after hearing Wei Donglai's words, Luo Qingshan nodded and looked at Yi Xingqian aside, only to find that her husband was looking at her with a smile on his face. After rolling her eyes at Yi Xingqian, Luo Qingshan said majestically, "I understand. Go over and tell them that I will be here soon." Wei Donglai bowed to the two of them, turned around and disappeared. At this moment, Yi Xingqian stood up, took Luo Qingshan's hand, and said softly to Luo Qingshan, "Madam, let's go." Husband, go and meet for a while. Let's see what these people from the Qing palace are capable of. They are so arrogant and make madam so troubled. For this reason alone, I will not let them have an easy time. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian smiled shyly, while Qinger on the side heard Yi Xingqian's words and hurriedly said, Emperor, you don't know something. In order for us to have enough spiritual stones to cultivate and buy elixirs, the Empress personally receives them every time. But every time the people from the Shangqing Palace have an extremely arrogant attitude and repeatedly lower the prices of our medicinal materials, which makes the Empress angry every time. Many elders can't stand them and don't want to trade with them. But the Empress would rather Qinger can't stand it anymore if he swallows his anger. Hearing Qinger's words, Yi Xingqian turned to look at Luo Qingxian, his eyes full of distress, took Luo Qingxian's hand and said, Madam, let's go. I'll leave today's affairs to my husband. Madam can just watch from the side. Seeing the distressed look in Yi Xingqian's eyes, Luo Qingxian was moved in her heart, rolled up Yi Xingqian and flew away in the direction of the Empress Palace. The two came to the Empress Palace. When the guard saw the Empress and Emperor arriving, he immediately bent down and saluted. He looked at Yi Xingqian with eyes full of admiration. Emperor is a talented human being. Yi Xingqian smiled slightly at the guards, took Luo Qingxian's hand, and walked into the Empress Palace. At this moment, in the Empress Palace, the white-haired old man was sitting leisurely on the chairs on both sides of the Empress Palace, while the middle-aged man looked outside the Empress Palace from time to time. On the treasure chair opposite, dozens of demon clan elders were also sitting there with angry faces. They must have been very angry by these two people. Suddenly, a powerful aura of the Emperor descended, and at the entrance of the Empress Palace, a beautiful figure appeared. Beside him was a handsome man with a tall figure and an unparalleled temperament. When they saw the man holding Luo Qingxian's hand and appearing in the Empress Palace, the eyes of both the white-haired old man and the middle-aged man shrank slightly. Yi Xingqian took Luo Qingxian's hand and didn't care about the two people in the Shangqing Palace. Instead, he came step by step to the throne above the Empress Palace. The white-haired old man and the middle-aged man saw that the man and the female Emperor Luo Qingxian were sitting firmly on the throne that symbolized the highest power of the demon clan. He could no longer remain calm and could sit on the imperial throne that symbolized the highest power of the demon clan together with the female Emperor Luo Qingxian. Apart from the female Emperor of the demon clan, only the husband of the female Emperor had this status. The next moment, the performance of those demon clan elders also verified the two people's guesses. After seeing the two people sitting down, many demon clan elders below immediately bowed to the two people and saluted respectfully. Meet the Empress, meet the Emperor. At this moment, Luo Qingxian, who was sitting on the throne, looked majestic and said calmly, Elders, there is no need to be polite, please sit down. After hearing Luo Qingxian's words, the elders of the demon clan slowly sat down. But the two people from Shangqing Palace opposite had their faces full of pride, and their necks were stretched out to the sky. Luo Qingxian looked at the two people with proud faces, a trace of anger flashed in his eyes, and the same angry faces were the demon clan elders below. As for the two people in Shangqing Palace, all their thoughts were focused on Yi Xingqian at the moment. With a sweep of their consciousness, they could easily discover that Yi Xingqian was actually a human, and a human with only the Shantian realm. This discovery caused a flash of sarcasm in the eyes of the two of them. The husband of the majestic demon empress turned out to be a weak human race. If word spread, it would make people laugh out loud. Feeling the angry gazes from the elders of the demon clan, the two of them reluctantly stood up and saluted Luo Qingxian. They couldn't be more perfunctory, but Yi Xingqian was directly ignored by the two of them. What a joke, a piece of trash in the Shantian realm is not worthy of being worshipped by them at all. Seeing this scene, Luo Qingxian was about to get angry, but his hand was held by Yi Xingqian who was standing beside him. He smiled and nodded to Luo Qingxian, then looked at the two people in Shangqing Palace with a calm expression and said, Come here, take these two down and throw them directly into the fiery cave, so that they can experience the true hospitality of our demon clan. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the eyes of the demon clan elders below suddenly lit up. The emperor's status in the demon clan is equivalent to the empress. Moreover, the empress looked calm and did not say anything to stop it. It seemed that the emperor was the one to handle the matter today. A powerful aura broke out, and the elders of the demon clan who were able to enter the Empress Palace were all at the Immortal Emperor realm. At this moment, the momentum of dozens of Immortal Emperor realm elders rose at the same time, pressing towards the two people in Shangqing Palace. The two of them could bear it. The expression of the old white-haired Immortal Emperor suddenly changed. The middle-aged man was overwhelmed by this terrifying aura and fell to the ground, unable to move. His eyes were full of panic. This was completely different from what he had imagined. The white-haired old man shouted hurriedly. "Which of you dares to take me down? You dare to take me down, Han Xuanluo, the elder of Shangqing Palace. Do you even want to make a deal? Ha, if you offend the Shangqing Palace, no one in the entire Shenhuang dares to make a deal with your demon clan. You have to think clearly about the consequences. Furthermore, I am the elder of Shangqing Palace. If you take me down, do you monsters plan to become enemies of Shangqing Palace?" A series of voices reminded Han Xuanluo that although his face was calm at this time, he was panicking in his heart. The human man above him simply didn't follow the routine and was about to capture the father and son at the exit. It was simply too much. I no longer take Shangqing Palace seriously. The reason why the father and son are so arrogant in front of the demon clan and the empress is because behind them is the top power of the human race, the Shangqing Palace. At this time, Yi Xingqian, who was sitting on the throne above, looked calm, looking at Han Xuanluo below, his eyes full of ridicule. "Don't you understand what I'm saying? Take these two down and throw them into the fiery cave." Yi Xingqian, who was sitting there, had endless majesty in his voice at this moment, and he exuded the aura of a superior, which made the elders of the demon clan below feel surprised. They did not expect that Emperor Zun had such a domineering side. Luo Qingshan, who was sitting next to Yi Xingqian, felt the endless majesty exuded by Yi Xingqian, and his eyes lit up. Luo Qingshan was a little surprised that her husband could actually exude the aura of a superior person. But this is what Luo Qingshan wants to see the most. That woman doesn't want her husband to be so domineering. At this time, dozens of demon clan elders below had long disliked Han Xuanluo. The terrifying immortal emperor pressed directly towards Han Xuanluo without any reservations. Han Xuanluo was the opponent of dozens of powerful immortal emperors. He didn't even have a chance to resist. He was directly blocked by those demon clan elders and thrown to the ground. The middle-aged man was even more unbearable and fainted from fright. Han Xuanluo fell to the ground and looked up at Yi Xingqian, a killing intent flashing deep in his eyes. He could finally see that the person in charge today was not Luo Qingshan, but this human race man who seemed to have an unparalleled temperament and handsome appearance. At this moment, there was a trace of ridicule in the man's eyes, and he exuded a domineering aura of a superior, which made Han Xuanluo believe that this handsome man was definitely a true master, and he definitely wanted to conquer them. The father and son entered the fire cave. At this moment, Han Xuanluo, who had always been as steady as a rock, was really scared. What he saw in the man's eyes was ridicule, a kind of ant-like ridicule. But the man's cultivation level was obviously only in the Shantian realm. Looking at the demon elders walking towards him, Han Xuanluo didn't have time to think too much and hurriedly shouted. "Wait, we have something to discuss. Anything can be discussed, medicinal materials can also be discussed. If we, father and son, are really thrown into the fire cave, Shangqing Palace will not do business with the demon clan in the future. This pair there is no benefit to the demon clan, so why bother?" Hearing Han Xuanluo's words, Yi Xingqian's eyes became more mocking. With a wave of his hand, the elders of the demon clan immediately stood on the spot, only hearing Yi Xingqian's calm voice. "Ha ha, Han Xuanluo, right, it seems that you really don't understand. I don't care at all about the trading of medicinal materials. Although the Shangqing Palace controls most of the alchemists, there are conflicts with the Shangqing Palace, and there are not a few alchemists in the force. Without trading with Shangqing Palace, the demon clan can still sell the medicinal materials, and it will definitely be much more expensive than those traded by Shangqing Palace. Quote, I suppress you because you have no demon clan in your eyes, and you don't even have the most respect for the strong. As the master of the demon clan, the Empress is also a strong person in the Immortal Emperor realm. You actually don't see the Empress. It's even more arrogant. Not to mention just suppressing you. Even if I kill you on the spot, I believe that the Shangqing Palace will not start a war with the demon clan because of you, a mere ordinary elder. What do you think? Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Han Xuanluo's expression suddenly changed. He had come to the monster clan countless times to trade. From being anxious at the beginning to becoming arrogant and domineering now, he had long forgotten that Luo Qingxian was an immortal emperor. Strong. I just thought that except for the Shangqing Palace, the demon clan could not sell medicinal materials, and there would not be enough spirit stones to maintain the daily expenses of the demon clan. I thought that I would have the right to speak from now on, so I became more and more arrogant. Now that Yi Xingqian woke him up, Han Xuanluo remembered. Strength is the most powerful voice in Shenhuang continent. Shangqing Palace will never start a war with the demon clan for its own sake. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Han Xuanluo immediately knelt on his knees respectfully and said to Luo Qingxian and Yi Xingqian, "Please forgive the demon empress and the emperor." Han must admit his mistakes to the empress and the emperor for what he has done before. Han Chuan lowered his head to the ground, his eyes deep with endless murderous intent, and he thought to himself, HMPH, let's deal with you first. If a good man doesn't suffer the immediate consequences, when I go back, I will definitely make you monsters pay the price. The husband of the majestic demon queen is actually a human in the Shantian realm. When the time comes, he will definitely make countless people laugh out loud, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. At this moment, when they saw Han Xuanluo kneeling on the ground and admitting his mistake, the eyes of the demon clan elders and Luo Qingxian were all bright. They did not expect that Han Xuanluo, who was so strong before, would actually kneel down and admit his mistake. Luo Qingxian and the others didn't know that Han Xuanluo was a very smart monkey, and he could never mistake the ant-like look in Yi Xingqian's eyes. If I don't kowtow to admit my mistake, but just bend down and salute, I'm afraid I really won't have a second chance. At this time, the demon clan elders looked at Han Xuanluo on the ground and turned to look at Yi Xingqian with infinite respect in their eyes. After hearing Han Xuanluo's words, Yi Xingqian still looked calm and said, "In this case, show your sincerity. I have something to say in front of you. You only have one chance. If you cannot satisfy me, I will have to leave you two as guests in the monster clan. As for whether you can leave or not depends on my mood." At this time, Yi Xingqian looked at Han Xuanluo, who was kneeling on the ground, with a calm face. His words contained endless domineering meaning, which made Han Xuanluo, who was kneeling on the ground, feel his heart skip a beat. "I'm afraid I'm going to bleed a lot today. I just blame myself for being too greedy. Now I'm shooting myself in the foot. What Emperor Zun said is that Han will definitely show enough sincerity." After hearing Han Xuanluo's words, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, "Elders, if you don't help Elder Han up and sit down quickly, let Elder Han kneel on the ground. This is not the way our demon tribe treats guests." At this time, hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the elders of the demon clan were also stunned, but they immediately stepped forward and helped Han Xuanluo to a chair and sat down. As for the middle-aged man who had fainted long ago, Emperor Zun didn't say anything, and the demon elders didn't care either. At this moment, Han Xuanluo looked at Yi Xingqian, who was smiling above him, and the corner of his mouth twitched. Although this son was low in strength, he was definitely not someone who could be provoked at will. He directly controlled the father and son in a few words. This son has already seen through everything, and the Shangqing Palace will never go to war with the demon clan for the sake of their father and son. In addition, if others knew that the price the two paid for the demon medicinal materials was 1/5 of the outside price, they would definitely think that it was arranged by the Shangqing Palace. Even if the two of them proactively admit that they, father and son, did it alone, no one will believe it. At that time, they will only become victims for the sake of the reputation of the Shangqing Palace for thousands of years. After thinking about this, Han Chuan was afraid for a while. He only blamed himself for being too greedy, so that he could be easily manipulated by this guy. Looking up at Yi Xingqian sitting there with a smile on his face, Han Xuanluo said carefully, "In order to show his sincerity, Mr. Han is willing to compensate for the price difference of the previous transactions. This time, he is also willing to pay twice as much as the outside price. I don't know if Emperor Zun is satisfied." At this moment, after hearing Han Xuanluo's words, Luo Qingxian turned to look at Yi Xingqian, her eyes full of joy. The eyes of the demon clan elders below were all bright. They really did not expect that Emperor Zun's few simple words would actually make Han Xuanluo, who had always been arrogant and domineering, changed so much that he would take the initiative to increase the cost of purchasing medicinal materials. Price. Yi Xingqian, who was sitting above, glanced at Han Xuanluo casually. With just one glance, Han Xuanluo, who was in the immortal emperor realm, felt as if he was facing the terrifying pressure of facing an ancient behemoth. This made Han Xuanluo very puzzled. He was a powerful person in the immortal emperor realm, and the other party was just a trash in the Shantian realm. Why would he put such terrible pressure on himself? How did Han Xuanluo know that although Yi Xingqian's strength was at the innate level, Han Xuanluo could not bear the slightest hint of momentum that Yi Xingqian, who had cultivated at the heavenly emperor level, could unleash on Han Xuanluo at will? Without any time to think about it, Han Xuanluo stood up in a hurry, bowed to Yi Xingqian and said, Han is willing to show his sincerity, please give me the emperor's approval. The next moment, Yi Xingqian's calm voice sounded, which shocked everyone present. At the same time, everyone knew that Emperor Zun had such a domineering side. At this moment, Yi Xingqian's calm voice sounded, which shocked everyone present. It was at this moment that everyone truly understood that Emperor Zun was so domineering. Hearing Han Xuanluo's words, Yi Xingqian's face remained calm, but his words were filled with undoubted domineering. Hand over your father and son's storage rings, and you two can get out. The demon clan is not a place where you, father and son, can run wild as you please. Hearing Yi Xingqian's undeniable domineering voice, Han Xuanluo's heart skipped a beat. Looking up, Yi Xingqian, who had a smile on his face just now, took off the storage ring in his hand, as well as the storage ring in the middle-aged man's hand, without any hesitation, and handed it to an elder of the demon clan respectfully. Han Xuanluo didn't dare to hesitate. After so many years of struggling in the human race, and now in the immortal emperor realm, what Han Xuanluo was most proud of was his way of looking at people. Although this boy is not very strong, he can never mistake the aura of a superior person that he exudes unconsciously. And Han Xuanluo also saved the lives of his father and son because of his vision. It was not until later that Han Xuanluo realized how correct his original vision was. Han Xuanluo didn't dare to stay. He bowed to Yi Xingqian and Luo Qingqian above him, picked up the middle-aged man on the ground, turned around and flew out of the Empress Palace. At this moment, Luo Qingqian looked at her husband, her eyes flashing with divine light. It turned out that her husband also had such a domineering and majestic side. Although she and her husband met not long ago, and they even got together because of an accident, Luo Qingqian could feel Yi Xingqian's feelings for her. Now seeing her husband with such a domineering side, Luo Qingqian was slightly surprised, but more than anything, she was happy. No matter what, the man in front of her was the man she would spend her whole life with. The dozens of demon clan elders below looked at the two storage rings in one of the elders' hands with shocked expressions on their faces. At this time, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly, turned to look at Luo Qingqian, and said, Madam, there is no need to be shocked. These two people just secretly lowered the price of purchasing medicinal materials. Now my husband is just asking for the spiritual stones that our demon tribe deserves to earn. Han Xuanluo was very smart and handed over the ring without any hesitation. He must have put away important things before coming to the monster clan. Among the rings now, there should only be some spiritual stones, but the number will not be too small, and the two of them did not dare to go back to the Shangqing Palace to report. After all, this is something that damages the face of the Shangqing Palace. If the Shangqing Palace finds out, the first one will be can't spare them. However, there must be someone behind this incident who had the favor of the two of them, otherwise Han Xuanluo and his son would never have been so courageous. Quote. Looking at the beautiful Luo Qingqian, Yi Xingqian analyzed calmly. The next moment, as Yi Xingqian expected, there was nothing in the two rings except a huge number of spiritual stones. Looking at the millions of spirit stones on the ground, Luo Qingqian said directly to one of the demon clan strongmen. Great Elder, collect the spirit stones and use them for the normal cultivation of the demon tribe. Send the rest to the human tribe to buy some restorative elixirs. After hearing Luo Qingqian's words, a middle-aged man with a strong build and a simple face immediately stood up and put away millions of spirit stones with a wave of his hand. This person is none other than the great elder of the demon clan, Wan Qinli. Yi Xingqian, who was sitting on the throne, watched Wan Qinli put away all the spirit stones before speaking out to Luo Qingqian beside him, and said with some guilt. Actually, the lady doesn't need to go to the human race to buy elixirs. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian was a little amused when she saw that her husband, who was so domineering just now, suddenly felt guilty. What's wrong, husband? Yu suddenly stuttered. Although the medicinal materials were not sold this time, these spiritual stones are enough to support the demon clan for a while. We are looking for a human force that can purchase the medicinal materials. As my husband said, if the Shangqing Palace doesn't accept it, his hostile forces will definitely accept it. Our medicinal materials are no worse than those of the human race. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian and said awkwardly, "My husband means that we don't need to go to the human race to buy elixirs." "Well, madam, my husband may also refine some elixirs, hee hee. At this time, Yi Xingqian raised his hand and touched the back of his head, and said awkwardly. Yi Xingqian really didn't know how to explain it to Luo Qingxian. After all, Yi Xingqian couldn't tell Luo Qingxian about the system, and some secrets couldn't be shared with others. At this time, Yi Xingqian was very scared. He used to be just an ordinary person, but now he suddenly said that he could make elixirs. Yi Xingqian was very afraid that Luo Qingxian would think wildly because of this. At this moment, all the people from the demon clan, including Luo Qingxian, suddenly heard Yi Xingqian say that he could make alchemy. Everyone's eyes widened with disbelief on their faces. The great elder Wan Qinli said excitedly, "The emperor is actually an alchemist." After hearing the great elder's words, everyone's eyes were focused on Yi Xingqian. At this moment, feeling the fiery gazes of everyone, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian with a guilty conscience. At this moment, Luo Qingxian's eyes were full of excitement. She was not angry because of her concealment, but more of a look forward to seeing her husband succeed. Looking at Luo Qingxian, whose eyes were full of expectation, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly, took Luo Qingxian's hand, and said softly, "Madam, my husband didn't mean to hide it from me, it's just." At this moment, without waiting for Yi Xingqian to finish speaking, Luo Qingxian directly stretched out her hand to hold Yi Xingqian's hand, with eyes full of affection, and said softly, "Husband, you don't need to explain. No matter what your husband does, Shanur will believe in you because you are Shanur's husband and the man Shanur trusts most in this life." Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian was really moved. He squeezed Luo Qingxian's hand tightly, and a sense of happiness spread between the two of them. But the demon clan elders on the side were extremely embarrassed. The empress and the emperor were in front of them, and they were slandering each other, which made these demon clan elders very helpless. However, these demon clan elders are extremely happy in their hearts, because they can feel that the empress is really happy now. They all grew up watching the empress. Over the years, the empress has been alone for the sake of the demon clan. Now that they see the empress so happy, they are happy for the empress from the bottom of their hearts. Seeing the two people quarreling with each other, it was the elder's cough that finally brought them back to their senses. Luo Qingxian looked even more shy. But Yi Xingqian said directly to the great elder Wan Qinli, "The great elder and other elders will go down and make arrangements. Tomorrow, I will refine the elixir in front of all the clan members. At the same time, I will also have a big surprise for the clan members. It is best to have a larger place that can accommodate countless clan members." Quote. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the elder's eyes suddenly lit up, and the eldest elder even said, "Emperor, if you need a bigger place, then go directly to our 10,000 Demons Square. That is where our demon clan has important matters and the disciples gather. Not only is the place big enough, but also the demon clan disciples often gather there. The place to go." Hearing Wan Qinli's words, Yi Xingqian nodded slightly. "Okay, then please elders, go down and prepare." As soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, the elders below immediately stood up, bowed to Yi Xingqian and Luo Qingxian and said, "I will obey the emperor's decree." Seeing the elders leaving excitedly, Luo Qingxian felt unprecedentedly satisfied. But at this moment, Yi Xingqian approached Luo Qingxian's ear with a smile on his face and said in a coquettish voice, "Madam, my husband has made a contribution to the demon clan this time, right? How do you plan to reward your husband?" Seeing her husband's mean look, Luo Qingxian gave her enemy a charming look. "How can you reward your husband if he wants a shirt?" Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingshan's eyes lit up and he said something into Luo Qingshan's ear, which instantly made Luo Qingshan's pretty face turn red. He threw himself into Yi Xingshan's arms, slapped Yi Xingshan's chest hard, and said softly, "My husband knows how to play tricks on Shanur, you're a bad husband." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingshan hugged Luo Qingshan tightly into his arms, with infinite tenderness in his heart. He should be the only one who can make the majestic demon queen be so shy. I just don't know when my wish will come true. At this moment, looking at the charming Luo Qingshan, Yi Xingshan thought to himself, when will this wish of mine be realized? The two of them were newlyweds, and it was the perfect time for them to be together. Suddenly, outside the Empress Palace, a black-robed guard appeared, bowed to the two of them and said, "Meet the Empress, meet the Emperor." Looking at the black-robed guard, Luo Qingshan said calmly, "What's up?" Reporting to the Empress, Emperor Yan sent an envoy to ask for an audience. Hearing the voice coming from below, Luo Qingshan frowned slightly. Seeing Luo Qingshan's expression, Yi Xingshan asked aloud, "Madam, what's wrong? What's the origin of this great Yan Emperor dynasty?" Hearing her husband's question, Luo Qingshan finally remembered that although her husband was a human, he was just an ordinary human and did not understand the division of power in the entire Shenhuang continent. So he explained aloud, "The great Yan Emperor dynasty is the top force in the human race and is very powerful. The demon clan has no contact with the great Yan Emperor dynasty. I don't know why it suddenly sent an envoy to the demon clan." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingshan instantly lost interest, with a look of boredom on his face. Luo Qingshan noticed the boredom on Yi Xingshan's face, smiled helplessly, and said, "If your husband is bored, you can go back to Fengqi Palace first, or go to the monster clan for a visit. After these things are taken care of, Shanur can go find your husband." Luo Qingshan looked at Yi Xingshan, who looked bored, and said aloud, the two of them had just gotten married, and they were supposed to have a good rest by themselves for a few days, and also accompany Yi Xingshan to visit the demon clan. However, there were things to deal with right now, so Yi Xingshan could only let Yi Xingshan go back by himself. Through these days of understanding, Luo Qingshan also understood her husband's character to some extent. Her husband naturally liked quietness and disliked liveliness, so he could only say helplessly. At this moment, after hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingshan immediately stood up, smiled at Luo Qingshan, and turned around impatiently in the direction of Fengqi Palace. Looking at Yi Xingshan, who disappeared, Luo Qingshan's eyes were filled with tenderness. She looked at the black-robed guard below and then said in a deep voice, "Let the envoys from the Emperor Yan dynasty come in." As soon as the scene changed, Yi Xingshan had slowly returned to Fengqi Palace, picked up his fishing rod, and walked towards the Huxin Pavilion. After arriving at the lake pavilion, after throwing out the fishing rod, Yi Xingshan sat on the chair and started enjoying himself with a look of contentment. Of course, he did not forget the most important thing and immediately said to the system, "System, check in today." Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, the Sky Demon Transformation Tower. The Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower is an artifact of the ancient demon tribe's suppression. It is a gift from heaven and earth. It is formed naturally and has no grade. It allows demon tribes who have not experienced the transformation calamity to enter it and transform directly. After the battle between immortals and demons, they disappear without a trace. Since then, the demon clan's strength has been greatly reduced. The system has put the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower into the system space. When using it, you only need to input a trace of fairy power, and the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower will instantly grow in size and become a true clan-suppressing artifact. At this moment, Yi Xingshan, who was sitting in the Huxin Pavilion, jumped up excitedly when he heard the sound of the system. The Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower, the ancient demon clan's clan-suppressing artifact. It allows all demon clans to transform directly without having to undergo the catastrophe of transformation. This is simply an existence that defies heaven. I didn't expect that I would actually sign into the demon clan. The clan's artifact. Listening to the introduction of the system, Yi Xingshan shouted in shock that the Sky Demon Transformation Tower can be called a clan-suppressing artifact, and it is indeed well deserved. He took out the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower in the system space, held it in his hand and observed it carefully. Because the system had been improved, Yi Xingqian was also afraid that the Emperor's sword situation would happen again. Looking at the scaled-down version of the Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower in his hand, the entire tower has criss-cross traces, as if it has experienced tens of millions of years of wind and rain, exuding an ancient meaning. One can feel at a glance how extraordinary this tower is. Place. Looking at the calm lake surface, Yi Xingqian immediately fell into deep thought. How should he hand over the Sky Demonization God Tower to his wife's hands today? The scene turned to the palace of the Empress. A middle-aged man and a young man wearing bright yellow brocade clothes are sitting on the throne below. The young man picked up the teacup and glanced at the beautiful figure above involuntarily, his eyes full of amazement. The young man was none other than Yan Jing, the eldest prince of the great Yan dynasty. The middle-aged man is Yan Wushuang, the prince of the Yan Emperor dynasty and the younger brother of Emperor Yan. At this moment, looking at the beautiful figure above, Yan Jing's eyes were filled with surprise, and he thought to himself. It is said that Luo Qingxian, the female emperor of the demon race, is powerful, has peerless appearance, and has countless suitors in the human race. After seeing her today, her reputation is indeed well deserved. It's just a pity. I heard that this woman suddenly got married, breaking the hearts of countless suitors. I don't know who is so lucky to be able to fall in love with such a woman. At this moment, Yan Wushuang stood up, cupped his fists at Luo Qingxian above him and said, Empress Luo, I am coming to the monster clan this time to invite the Empress to participate in the first auction of the Emperor Yan dynasty, which will be held 1 month later. At the same time, there will be exchanges between young disciples. I also ask the Empress to definitely participate. It's an invitation. After Yan Wushuang finished speaking, a dark golden invitation appeared in his hand. With a tremor, a mysterious force dragged the invitation slowly to Luo Qingxian. Hearing Yan Wushuang's words and looking at the dark golden invitation in front of him, Luo Qingxian gently reached out to catch it, and a calm and majestic voice sounded at the same time. Prince Yan personally came to invite me, and I will go there myself. However, those forces were invited to participate in the first auction of Great Yan. Could you please let Prince Yan know? Hearing Luo Qingxian's question, Yan Wushuang smiled slightly and said proudly. As the top force in Shenhuang, Dian is holding an auction for the first time. He has invited all the forces in Shenhuang to participate. The items being auctioned will definitely not disappoint the Empress. Hearing Yan Wushuang's words, Luo Qingxian nodded slightly and suddenly became somewhat interested in this great Yan auction. In this case, after 1 month, I will go there and bring Prince Yan and Prince Yan down to have a rest. Please treat them well, so don't neglect them. As soon as Luo Qingxian finished speaking, Yan Wushuang immediately said, Thank you Empress for your kindness. I have some matters to deal with and cannot stay any longer. Since the invitation has been brought, I will leave first. Yan Jing, who was on the side, stood up a little disappointed after hearing Yan Wushuang's words, and saluted the beautiful figure above him with his fists clasped. Hearing Yan Wushuang's words, Luo Qingxian's calm voice sounded. In this case, I will not force others to make things difficult for me. I will go back and tell Emperor Yan that in 1 month, I will go to Dian in person. I have a business deal and want to cooperate with Dian for a long time. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yan Wushuang was slightly startled. Although he didn't know what Luo Qingxian meant by long-term cooperation, he immediately said, I will definitely tell the Emperor Yan about the Empress' words. In 1 month, I will personally welcome the Empress to Dian. Hearing Yan Wushuang's words, Luo Qingxian nodded slightly and asked people to send the 2 of them out of the Empress Palace before falling into deep thought. When your husband refines the elixir, you may be able to cooperate with the great Yan Emperor dynasty once. The demon clan may undergo huge changes because of your husband. Thinking of her husband's guilty expression when he said he could make elixirs, Luo Qingxian's eyes were full of tenderness. Luo Qingxian could easily feel the tension in Yi Xingqian's heart at that time, the fear of losing herself. The fear of losing was because there was love in her heart. Although her husband wanted to tell the reason at that time, Luo Qingxian interrupted. As she once said, Yi Xingqian is her husband. She believes in Yi Xingqian at any time. This alone is enough. Looking up in the direction of Fengqi Palace, a tall figure appeared in Luo Qingshan's mind. Thinking of what Yi Xingshan said in her ear, Luo Qingshan's pretty face turned red instantly, and she touched her cherry lips, shyly murmured to himself. Enemies, if you really refine the elixir and your wife agrees to your request, she will make fun of you. As if remembering something, Luo Qingshan hummed charmingly, her eyes filled with tenderness. At this moment, Luo Qingshan's eyes were looking in the direction of Fengqi Palace. With infinite affection in her eyes, she smiled slightly, and walked away in the direction of Fengqi Palace. In the living room of Fengqi Palace, Yi Xingshan was busy in the kitchen, and bursts of fragrance wafted out of the kitchen. Luo Qingshan, who returned to Fengqi Palace, looked at Yi Xingshan who was busy in the kitchen, slightly raised the corners of his mouth, and slowly walked towards Yi Xingshan. At night, looking at Luo Qingshan who was lying in his arms with a satisfied expression on his face as he fell asleep, Yi Xingshan felt extremely proud. What he had not done in his previous life, he had done in this life. Not only does he have great strength, he also has a woman who treats him sincerely. These are what Yi Xingshan needs to protect and cannot be destroyed by anyone. Especially Luo Qingshan, who has almost become Yi Xingshan's reverse scale. Yi Xingshan himself can't imagine how crazy he will be if anything happens to Luo Qingshan. Early the next morning, the two of them got dressed in perfect agreement and did not play around, because they had important things to do today. By the time Yi Xingshan and Luo Qingshan arrived at the 10,000 Demons Square, the entire 10,000 Demons Square was already overcrowded, and basically all the transformed demons had already arrived. Seeing Luo Qingshan and Yi Xingshan coming hand in hand, all the demon clan members bowed and saluted. Meet the Empress, meet the Emperor. Meet the Empress, meet the Emperor. The two came to the central platform of 10,000 Demons Square. Yi Xingshan looked down. The light radiating from the eyes of the demon clan was a kind of recognition and admiration for the strong. Turning around to look at Luo Qingshan beside him, he saw this beautiful woman looking at him expectantly. Feeling Luo Qingshan's gaze, Yi Xingshan seemed to be encouraged. Just as he was about to stand up, Luo Qingshan held his hand, and then said something in Yi Xingshan's ear with a pretty face and a slight blush, making Yi Xingshan's eyes suddenly light up and his face looked excited. Seeing Yi Xingshan's excited expression, Luo Qingshan gave Yi Xingshan a charming look and said softly, "Husband, just try your best, even if it doesn't work out, Shanur will promise you." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingshan gave Luo Qingshan a reassuring look, then turned around and walked to the edge of the platform. At this moment, many demon clan ancestors hidden in the void are secretly transmitting. Our Emperor's cultivation is still at the innate realm, but I always feel that our Emperor's true cultivation is far beyond that. I wonder if you feel this way. An ancestor of the demon clan spoke to several ancestors of the demon clan and immortal emperors around him. Well, yes, I feel this way too, but we don't need to worry. We have this emperor. I don't feel any harm to the demon clan. I still have confidence in this. After hearing this ancestor's words, several other immortal emperor ancestors all rolled their eyes at him. Isn't this nonsense? I didn't see what the empress and the emperor looked like just now. They almost had tears in their eyes. They were very affectionate. Besides, how can a person recognized by the great emperor of the demon clan be harmful to the demon clan? It seems that the emperor's vision is much higher than ours after all. He has seen how extraordinary this child is from the beginning. I have no other ideas. As long as my child Qingshan can be happy, I will be satisfied. Ancestor Luo Qingshan and Luo Xuanvi, who were standing in the void, looked at Yi Xingshan below and said softly. At this moment, Yi Xingshan, who was on the platform below, looked at the many demon clan people around him. Yi Xingshan was not impressed by many of them, but Yi Xingshan was deeply impressed by the two strong men with honest faces not far away. It was none other than the two brothers Shangfeng and Shang Wushan. As if he thought of something, Yi Xingshan smiled, waved to the two of them, and said, Shang Wushan, and you two brothers come on stage. I, the Emperor, have something for you to do. The two people standing in the crowd were looking at Yi Xingshan on the platform with admiration. When they suddenly heard Emperor Zun calling their names, they were all slightly startled, not believing their ears at first. It wasn't until they were pushed to the bottom of the platform by other members of the demon clan that the two of them woke up. Shang couldn't look at Yi Xingshan, who looked at them with a smile on hhis face, and said in a naive voice. Boss Emperor Zun, did you just call us brothers? Yes, Boss Emperor, can you call me? As soon as Shangfeng and Shang Wuxian finished speaking, good-natured laughter suddenly broke out among the demon clan crowd. Wan Qinli, the great elder of the demon clan who was standing next to the platform and maintaining order, immediately said angrily. Bold, Shang Wenfa, and Shang Wuxian, you two are getting more and more outrageous. How can the emperor be your brother? Someone is here to take Shang Wenfa and Shang Wuxian away. After hearing the great elder's words, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said. There is no need to be angry, great elder. They are all brothers. What they called them is correct. Since these two brothers call each other boss, then I, the emperor, will recognize them as brothers. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the eyes of the several ancestors hidden in the void suddenly lit up. The eyes of the demon clan people below were even more shocked. They had never thought that Emperor Zun could be such a casual and heroic person. Several elders of the monster clan felt excited when they heard Yi Xingqian's words. They had seen Yi Xingqian's unparalleled domineering side, and now they had seen Yi Xingqian's heroic side. At this moment, several elders of the monster clan truly recognized Yi Xingqian as the emperor of the monster clan from the bottom of their hearts. The next moment, Yi Xingqian's extremely domineering voice sounded. Brothers, you can call me emperor, or you can call me boss. They are all brothers. We don't have so many rules here. As soon as Yi Xingqian finished speaking, countless young monsters below looked at me, and I looked at you, with fire and excitement in their eyes, as if they were connected to each other. They faced Yi Xingqian on the stage, clasping their fists with their hands, bowing and saluting. Meet the boss! Meet the boss! At this moment, Yi Xingqian had conquered countless monsters with just a few words. At this moment, Luo Qingxian stood in the center of the platform with a look of relief and tender eyes. At this moment, the ancestors of the demon clan hidden in the void nodded slightly, looked towards the deepest direction of the demon clan, and bowed slightly. Okay, since you recognize me as the boss will give you a surprise today. Shang Wenfa, Shang Wuxian, what are you two doing standing in the audience? Come up. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Shang Wenfa and Shang Wuxian came back from their excitement, jumped onto the platform, and came to Yi Xingqian's side with naive expressions, waiting for Yi Xingqian's instructions. The next moment, there was a loud boom, and a dark black cauldron, exuding divine light, appeared on the platform. Seeing everyone's shocked look, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly, and what he said made all the people of the demon clan stand stunned on the spot. Even the ancestors in the void appeared one after another, and Luo Qingxian on the platform covered her lips with tears of happiness in her eyes. At this moment, looking at everyone's shocked look, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said, This furnace is a chaos furnace. No one can put it away except the boss, so from now on this chaos furnace will be placed here on the platform. Of course, the brother and the elders. If the ancestor doesn't believe it, you can try, this furnace cannot be moved by anyone except me. Also, since you call me boss, I will not be stingy. Today I will let you see the wonders of the chaos furnace. At this moment, Shangfeng and Shang Wuxian, who were standing next to Yi Xingqian, looked at the chaos furnace that was emitting divine light, with eager faces on their faces. Yi Xingqian turned around and looked at the expressions on their faces. He didn't know what was going on in these two fools' minds. He couldn't help but smile helplessly, looked at them and said, Shang Wuxian, and you two want to try, can you lift the chaos furnace? Hearing Yi Xingqian's question, the two of them immediately brightened their eyes, looked at Yi Xingqian seriously, and kept nodding. Seeing the two people's funny looks, Yi Xingqian smiled and pointed to the chaos furnace beside him. Shang Wenfa and Shang Wuxian saw Yi Xingqian's actions and immediately walked towards the chaos furnace. The people of the demon race below looked at the two Shangfeng brothers walking towards the chaos furnace, and started talking one after another. Hey, old Lu, these two brothers from the Shang family are among the best in our monster clan in terms of strength. Do you think they can lift this chaos furnace? After hearing the words of his companion beside him, old Lu said confidently. You're stupid. There's no need to ask. Didn't Boss Emperor say it? No one can do it except Boss Emperor, not even our ancestors of the demon clan. Boss Emperor is so heroic. What a domineering person. who can tell lies? No matter how strong these two brothers are, it will be in vain. Hearing Lao Lu's words, the people around him also nodded slightly. Since the Emperor Zun boss dares to say such words in public, it must be true. At this time, the bear on the platform had already squatted down, wrapping his arms around the chaos furnace. The veins on his arms as thick as thighs were protruding, and his legs were slightly strained. Hearing Bear unable to shout loudly, a mountain-moving force suddenly emitted from his body. The people around him felt the terrifying aura exuding from Bear Unable's body, and they all had admiration in their eyes. In terms of strength alone, Shang Feng is indeed one of the best among the demon clan. At this moment, the people below, seeing the terrifying aura that Shang Feng exudes, are all filled with admiration. However, at the next moment, Shang Wenfei's face was red and his muscles were bulging. He even used the cultivation level of the heavenly immortal realm, but he could not lift the chaos furnace even a little bit. Shang Wushan on the side saw this and his eyes widened instantly. He couldn't understand how powerful Shang Wen was. Seeing Shang Wen's face flushed, this was a sign of extreme strength. Shang Wushan also imitated Shang's helpless look. The two brothers, one half and one half, tried to lift the chaos furnace together. As a result, both of them tried their best to lift the chaos furnace, but the chaos furnace remained motionless. At this time, everyone below was directly shocked. Even the ancestors in the void were shocked. The second son of the Shang family knew it because the ancestor of the Shang family was beside them. As for the power of the ancestor of the Shang family, but I know it well. However, the combined power of the two people did not make the chaos furnace move even half a minute. How could they not be surprised? Seeing the two people's faces flushed and gnashing their teeth, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and asked the two to stand up. After seeing the two men looking depressed and out of breath, he said aloud, "You know why I, boss, have the confidence to say this. No one except me can move the chaos furnace even half a minute, let alone take it away. And the role of the chaos furnace is not just that. Next, you will know the real magical effect of the chaos furnace." Looking at the confused people below, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and continued. "There are not many others in our demon clan, and there are countless kinds of elixirs and immortal herbs. I, the boss below, will refine 3 types of elixirs. These 3 kinds of elixirs have never appeared in Shenhuang continent. After a while, you all took a closer look at how the boss made them. The names of these 3 elixirs are the Xuanyuan Dan that restores the spirit of immortality in the body. To treat injuries in the body, restoration pill. To treat severe poison in the body, Qi Du Dan." Quote. Looking at the elder who was maintaining order on the side, Yi Xingqian said, "Great elder, take 1 Luotian flower, 2 black ink fruits, and 1 heavenly spirit fruit. These are the materials for refining the Xuanyuan pill. 3 blood coagulation grass, 2 qi gathering fruits, and 1 marrow cleansing leaf. These are the materials for refining the recovery pill. 100 poison grass, 1 polygonum multiflorum, and 3 9-leaf Ganoderma lucidum. These are the materials for refining the poison pill." Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, everyone around him, including Luo Qingxian, couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Hiss. Luo Qingxian even said directly, "Husband, are you not afraid of leaking the elixir recipe when you tell it? Moreover, my husband also said that these 3 kinds of elixirs have never appeared in Shenhuang continent. Do you know the value of 1 elixir recipe in Shenhuang continent today?" For some reason, Luo Qingxian believed that Yi Xingqian could refine these 3 elixirs from beginning to end. Being smart, she did not ask Yi Xingqian why he had these 3 elixirs. This was Luo Qingxian's trust in Yi Xingqian. She believed in her husband as much as she believed in herself. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and said naturally, "They are all our brothers, my husband believes in them." Yi Xingqian's natural words, "believe them," directly made countless people in the demon clan feel moved in their eyes. They could see that the emperor's boss was not pretending, he said it naturally. Just because they called Emperor Zun boss, Emperor Zun believed them and told them the pill recipe that countless people in Shenhuang continent were crazy about so easily. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian also smiled helplessly and glanced at her hungry husband. "Husband, there is definitely no problem with people from the demon clan. I also believe in them, but if their souls are searched by someone with ulterior motives, the consequences will be disastrous. Hearing what Luo Qingxian said, Yi Xingqian also smiled slightly and said, Madam, there is no need to worry. Without the chaos furnace, no one can refine your husband's elixir. Even if you know the elixir, it will be useless. What a joke, if something produced by the system is stolen so easily, is it still a reward from the system? When he first said that he could make elixirs, Yi Xingqian had already asked the system, and at that time, Yi Xingqian already had an idea in his mind. Today is the day this idea is implemented. After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian nodded slightly and stopped talking. At this time, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the great elder also had infinite respect in his eyes. He took out all the medicinal materials Yi Xingqian needed directly from the storage ring, and carefully placed them on the platform one by one in the order Yi Xingqian said. Yi Xingqian smiled and nodded to the great elder. Next moment, Yi Xingqian's smile disappeared, and an extremely domineering aura of a superior person emanated from his body, shocking all the demon clan members instantly. At this moment, looking at the demon clan people below, Yi Xingqian's smile disappeared, and an extremely domineering aura of a superior person emanated from his body. All the demon clan members were instantly shocked. Our demon clan occupies endless forests and has countless elixirs and immortal grasses, but because we don't have an alchemist, we waste a lot of resources. And the spiritual stones in the hands of brothers are even more scarce. The Empress is extremely worried about this matter, but now, brothers don't need to worry about this matter anymore. Brothers, you have seen clearly. I believe you have memorized the 3 elixir recipes clearly. Next, you only need to follow my method and put the medicinal materials into the chaos furnace. Quote. The next moment, Yi Xingqian put the Luoshanhua, Mojin fruit, and Tianling fruit used to refine the Xuanyuan pill into the chaos furnace. Then he turned to face the people below and continued. After putting all the medicinal materials into the chaos furnace, you only need to input a trace of fairy spirit and wait for a while. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Xingqian injected a trace of fairy spirit into the chaos furnace. The next moment, the chaos furnace suddenly burst into glory, exuding divine light all over its body. In just a moment, a faint medicinal fragrance entered everyone's nostrils. After the divine light of the chaos furnace disappeared, Yi Xingqian opened the chaos furnace, and a stronger medicinal fragrance spread out. At this moment, dozens of black and gray pills were lying in the chaos furnace. According to the description in the True Solution to Alchemy, Yi Xingqian knew that it was the Xuanyuan pill. After taking out dozens of Xuanyuan pills from the chaos furnace, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly. At the same time, Luo Qingxian came to Yi Xingqian with an excited face. Looking at Luo Qingxian with an excited face, Yi Xingqian put the Xuanyuan pill into Luo Qingxian's hand. Looking at the dozens of black and gray elixirs in his hand, exuding a strong fairy spirit, Luo Qingxian's eyes were wet. Her husband succeeded, and the demon tribe could finally refine their own elixir. Although Luo Qingxian had always believed that her husband would definitely refine the elixir, she was still a little worried. Now that it was finally refined, Luo Qingxian's heart finally dropped. Seeing Luo Qingxian's excited look, Yi Xingqian gently took Luo Qingxian's hand and smiled softly, causing many people from the demon clan around him to boo and make Luo Qingxian blush slightly. Next, Yi Xingqian performed the same operation and refined dozens of recovery pills to treat injuries. But what Yi Xingqian said next shocked countless people from the demon clan. Even the ancestors of the demon clan who were hidden in the void slowly revealed their true faces and revealed their true bodies. Shang is helpless. According to the method that the boss just used to refine the elixir, you can refine the cowardly poison pill. Hearing the words of the emperor's boss, Shang Bu couldn't believe his ears. Boss Emperor Zun, you just said, let me, the old bear, make alchemy. I am not an alchemist. If the furnace explodes, don't ask me, the old bear, to pay for it. Hearing Shang Wenwei's words, Yi Xingqian faced it angrily, and kicked Shang Wenwei's butt, which made this guy become more honest. Shang couldn't follow Yi Xingqian's method and put the medicinal materials of Kidu pill into the chaos furnace, and then input a trace of fairy spirit into the chaos furnace. The next moment, the chaos furnace also glowed brilliantly, emitting divine light. When the divine light of the chaos furnace disappeared, Shang Wen couldn't open the chaos furnace with some excitement, and dozens of green pills appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, everyone was not calm, and their faces were full of shock. Xiang Wenfa had also refined the elixir. How could this be possible? Looking at the shocked expressions on the faces of countless demon clan people below, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and said loudly. Every brother should know that elixirs can be divided into 9 grades, with the first grade being the lowest and the 9th grade being the highest. The 9th grade is also called the divine grade. The power of the chaos furnace is that for all elixirs under the 3rd grade, you only need to put the medicinal materials recorded in the elixir recipe into it, input the spirit of the fairy, and the chaos furnace can refine the elixirs on its own. Quote. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingchen's words, everyone opened their mouths wide and stayed in place. Originally, they thought it was Emperor Zun who moved his hands and feet, which made Xiang unable to refine the cowardly poison pill. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingchen's words, they were shocked to find that it was the function of the chaos furnace. This chaos furnace was too powerful. And Yi Xingchen didn't tell everything. In fact, everyone in Shenhuang continent only knew that the 9th grade elixir was a divine grade. But they didn't know that there were Dao level elixirs on top of the divine ones. Yi Xingchen didn't tell them because he didn't want them to think too much. Luo Qingshan, who heard Yi Xingchen's words at this moment, also looked shocked and her eyes were full of excitement. What your husband means is that as long as there is an elixir, the medicinal materials put into the elixir, and any elixir within the 3rd grade, the chaos furnace can refine it on its own. At this moment, all the demon clan members around, hearing the Empress's voice, all looked at the calm-looking emperor. Looking at the fiery gazes of Luo Qingshan and the people from the demon clan, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and said, My lady is right. Although she can only refine 3rd grade elixirs, they are enough for us demon clan people to use. Furthermore, the Xuanyuan Dan, the recovery pill, and the cowardly poison pill are much better than those refined by the human race. This type of elixir is much more effective. After taking a look at everyone who was completely stunned, Yi Xingchen continued. This chaos furnace will be placed here on the platform from now on. Brothers who go out for training and lack elixirs can come here to refine these 3 commonly used elixirs. Hearing Yi Xingchen's words at this moment, everyone woke up. It was too domineering for Emperor Zun to put such a clan-suppressing artifact on the platform and let the demon clan disciples refine the elixir at will. As the empress of the demon tribe, Luo Qingshan's far-sighted vision is by no means comparable to that of ordinary demon tribesmen. Looking at the excited faces of the people below, Luo Qingshan's majestic voice sounded. Come here, send someone to guard the chaos furnace day and night, and respectfully ask an ancestor to guard it secretly. In addition, since the emperor has spoken, anyone from the demon clan can come here to refine elixirs, and I will not stop him. However, you cannot sell it privately to earn spiritual stones. If you find any, you can directly suppress them and expel them from the demon clan. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly, looked at the majestic Luo Qingshan, and said softly, Madam, there is no need to be so serious. Although these 3 elixirs are much more effective than the elixirs refined by humans, they are only suitable for people from the demon clan to take. If humans take them, they will have no effect. Yi Xingchen was telling the truth. With the true knowledge of alchemy, he could easily combine various elixirs to form elixirs suitable for people of the demon clan. Seeing a hint of sadness flashing in Luo Qingshan's eyes, Yi Xingchen continued with a smile. But my husband has here some elixirs that are suitable for the human race. After a while, my husband told the lady that she can send someone to refine them. By then, this batch of elixirs will definitely be very popular among the human race. The spiritual stone that troubles the lady can be perfectly solved. Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan's eyes lit up, and when she saw her husband's smiling face, she still didn't understand that her husband was teasing her. Her pretty face turned red, and she gave Yi Xingchen a fierce look. Looking at Luo Qingshan's beautiful reddish face, Yi Xingchen continued. As for sending someone to guard the chaos furnace, there's no need for it. Have you forgotten what your husband said at the beginning? Except for my husband, no one can move the chaos furnace even half a minute, not even the ancestor of the immortal emperor. After hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan spoke directly. Yes, you can try it yourself, or you can let the ancestors try it. Unless your husband talks big, let alone the immortal emperor. Even if the great emperor comes, you can't even think of moving the chaos furnace even half a minute. At this moment, hearing Yi Xingqian's serious look, Luo Qingxian subconsciously believed it for some reason. Suddenly, an old voice sounded, and then a tall and mighty figure appeared on the ring. The two brothers of the Shang family, who had always been lawless, trembled rarely when they saw this mighty figure. It was obvious that they were very concerned about this figure. How fearful! Emperor, let me try. After all, this chaos furnace is too important. Although it is Emperor's thing, it is very important to the demon clan. I want to try to see if it is true as Emperor said. Except for Emperor, no one else can be moved half a minute. Seeing the mighty figure that suddenly appeared, Luo Qingxian bowed slightly to the figure, while many monsters below also bowed and saluted. The two Shang brothers even knelt on the ground, not daring to look up. This figure. Yi Xingqian looked at this mighty figure. He turned out to be an elder with gray hair. His face was determined and he exuded a powerful aura. It was an invincible momentum. Seeing everyone's reaction and the unusual behavior of the two Shang brothers, Yi Xingqian guessed that this old man exuding an invincible aura must be the ancestor of the Shang family. Yi Xingqian also bowed to the old man before speaking out. Ancestor, please. As can be imagined, the ancestors of the Shang family also failed. It was not until dozens of ancestors worked together that they could not move the chaos furnace. They realized that the emperor in front of them was really not lying. No one could move this chaos furnace. Half a point. In this case, whether to send someone to guard it or not is irrelevant. Dozens of ancestors, especially Luo Qingxian's blood ancestors, looked at Yi Xingqian with more and more satisfaction. They smiled at Yi Xingqian before disappearing with all the ancestors. Luo Qingxian looked at Yi Xingqian with endless tenderness in her eyes. Her husband had brought a rare opportunity to the demon clan, and also brought a huge surprise to herself and the demon clan. In the following time, everyone in the demon clan was trying to refine elixirs, and they all successfully refined the elixirs they needed. At this moment, the entire monster clan had deep respect for Yi Xingqian in their hearts, and looked at Yi Xingqian like a god. Yi Xingqian looked at the affection in Luo Qingxian's eyes, came to Luo Qingxian with a wicked smile, and said something into Luo Qingxian's ear. Luo Qingxian's pretty face flushed instantly. She gave her husband a charming look, and then nodded with a flushed face. Seeing Luo Qingxian nod, Yi Xingqian jumped up happily. His wish was finally coming true. Chapter 31. At this moment, seeing Luo Qingxian nodding, Yi Xingqian jumped up excitedly. Seeing her husband's excited look, Luo Qingxian's face turned red with embarrassment. In the next time, Luo Qingxian returned to the Empress Palace. She had many things to deal with. Yi Xingqian returned to Fengqi Palace with a happy face, picked up the fishing rod and walked towards the lake center pavilion. At this moment, in the Queen's palace, there were strong men constantly. After receiving Luo Qingxian's orders, they turned into streams of light and headed in all directions. The entire demon clan seemed to have transformed into a state machine and began to operate crazily. But our protagonist, sitting in the pavilion in the middle of the lake with a comfortable look on his face, said to the system. System, check-in starts today. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, stealing the sky for the day. A god-level mask that steals the sky and changes the sun. When worn by the host, it can hide its own aura and cover its face so that no one can detect it. It is a must-have artifact for traveling, killing people and stealing goods. Hearing the voice of the system, Yi Xingqian was speechless for a while. The system actually rewarded him with a god-level mask. It wanted him to hide his identity and commit murder and swindle goods. System. Host, please note that the rewards for each sign-in are random. Please don't speculate on this system. As the only one in the world, this system will never let the host do such a shameless thing. Hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingqian rolled his eyes and stopped paying attention to this shameless system. He casually took out the thieving sky-changing sun mask from the system space and looked at it carefully. Although Yi Xingqian said so, Yi Xingqian attached great importance to every reward the system received. The mask is golden yellow all over, with a faint divine glow. It feels very soft to the touch, and I don't know what material it is made of. The whole mask only had eyes, and the mouth was exposed. After Yi Xingchen put the mask on, it was as if he was not wearing a mask, without any discomfort. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart. It was worthy of being produced by the system, it was extraordinary. After carefully placing Tiantianwanri into the system space, the system's voice rang again. Ding! The system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, the Divine Fist of the Imperial Way. The Divine Fist of the Imperial Way, a god-level boxing technique, was created by the ancient Emperor of Heaven. With one punch, the energy of the Imperial Way is added to the body, just like the Emperor of Heaven descending, suppressing the 9 heavens and 10 earths, making it unbeatable. Ding! Would you like to ask the host if you want to practice the Imperial Divine Fist immediately? Hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingchen did not hesitate at all. System, practice the Imperial Divine Fist immediately. Ding! I am in the process of practicing the Imperial Divine Fist. Congratulations to the host for completing the cultivation of the Imperial Divine Fist. Because the host is a chaotic body of the Great Avenue and is born with boundless luck, he has automatically cultivated the Imperial Divine Fist to the highest level. At this moment, Yi Xingchen was sitting in the pavilion in the middle of the lake. A terrifying imperial aura emanated from his body, as if he had transformed into an ancient emperor, making people feel the urge to worship him. In just a moment, Yi Xingchen has understood the Imperial Divine Fist to the highest level, and can control it freely, as if he has practiced it for countless years. After sensing this imperial aura for a while, Yi Xingchen was very satisfied with this imperial aura. It feels like one person sitting alone while thousands of people worship. After waiting for a while, when there was no more sound coming from the system, Yi Xingchen slowly stood up. At this moment, Yi Xingchen has elegant facial features and a transcendent temperament, just like a jade young master. Anyone who sees him will secretly praise him. What a peerless handsome man. But who would have thought that such a jade-like young master with innate cultivation would turn out to be an unparalleled talent that would be unparalleled throughout the ages? Looking up at the sky, it was slowly getting dark. Yi Xingchen knew that it would not take long for Luo Qingshan to be back. Thinking of what Luo Qingshan had promised him, Yi Xingchen's mouth curled up slightly, and his heart felt tender. When Yi Xingchen slowly returned to Fengqi Palace, just as Yi Xingchen expected, Luo Qingshan had returned to Fengqi Palace. The two of them had dinner under Qing'er's service. Luo Qingshan was pulled into the room by Yi Xingchen with a shy look on her face. Seeing her husband's smiling face, Luo Qingshan thought of agreeing to Yi Xingchen's request, and sat nervously by the bed with a shy look on her face. Looking at the shy Luo Qingshan, Yi Xingchen slowly hugged Luo Qingshan's waist from behind with a smile in his eyes. "Madam, are everything arranged properly?" After hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan slowly turned around, her eyes full of emotion, and smiled tenderly at Yi Xingchen. "Well, the arrangements have been made. I believe that it won't be long before humans will continue to come to buy elixirs. Although it is only a first-class elixir, the effect is indeed much better than that refined by the human race. The most important thing is that the first-class elixir consumes a lot of money. Come on, it won't be long before the demon clan's elixirs can open up the human race market. Shanur has already made arrangements to build an elixir hall at the junction of the human race and the demon clan, and send a demon clan elder to take charge of it, so that some demon clan people who have failed to transform can go there to sell elixirs. In addition, black-clothed guards are secretly dispatched to protect secretly and prevent malicious sabotage. My husband is a talented person from the human race. Shanur wants my husband to name this elixir hall himself." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly, touched his chin with his right hand and thought for a while, and then said aloud, "How dare your husband not listen to what you say? How about calling Wandan Pavilion?" "Wandan Pavilion, what a good name. My husband is so great. Let's call it Wandan Pavilion." "Wandan Pavilion, you can choose it." Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan's eyes instantly lit up. She happily threw herself into Yi Xingchen's arms, and spoke excitedly. Feeling the excitement of Luo Qingshan in his arms, Yi Xingchen had a tender expression on his face. Thinking of the people Luo Qingshan said about the people who failed to transform into monsters, an idea suddenly came to his mind. Perhaps this mask of stealing the sky and changing the sun can also be used in this way. At this moment, Luo Qingshan, who was held in Yi Xingqian's arms, breathed in the familiar scent of Yi Xingqian, and a sense of happiness rose from her heart. Looking at the beautiful woman in his arms, Yi Xingqian smiled coquettishly and said softly in Luo Qingxian's ear, "Madam, it's late at night, let's go to bed early. Madam has a lot of things to do tomorrow." After hearing Yi Xingqian's words, a wisp of red clouds instantly appeared on Luo Qing's shirt and her beautiful face. Seeing Luo Qingxian's shy and charming look, Yi Xingqian looked at Luo Qingxian affectionately, as if he owned all the good things in the world. Yi Xingqian waved his hand, and the whole room darkened instantly, and he hugged Luo Qingxian tenderly. Feeling the nervous breathing of the woman in his arms, Yi Xingqian's heart was filled with tenderness and infinite tenderness. This night, the two people's hearts got closer and closer. This night, the relationship between the two became deeper and deeper. That night, the moon in the sky outside the window shyly hid among the clouds. Early the next morning, Luo Qingxian woke up. Thinking of what happened last night, Luo Qingxian felt shy. Looking at Yi Xingqian, who was sleeping soundly, with his handsome profile and calm breathing, Luo Qingxian's eyes were full of tenderness, and she thought to herself, "This is my husband, the man I will stay with for the rest of my life." Thinking of this, Luo Qingxian smiled slightly and was about to get up quietly, but Yi Xingqian suddenly pulled her into his arms and said softly, "Madam, you wake up." Feeling the breath coming from her ears and the strong hands surrounding her, Luo Qingxian was instantly grabbed by Yi Xingqian, secretly saying that she was an enemy. He said shyly, "Husband, stop teasing Shanur. There are many things that need to be dealt with today. When you come back, in the evening, Shanur will accompany your husband again." Looking at Luo Qingxian's beautiful and shy look in his arms, Yi Xingqian was moved as he thought of Luo Qingxian's charming look last night. Being able to make the empress of the demon race look like this, Luo Qingxian really loves herself very much. Thinking of this, Yi Xingqian felt soft in her heart and said affectionately, "Madam, my husband will serve my lady to get up." Looking at the affectionate Yi Xingqian, Luo Qingxian's eyes were full of tenderness. "Husband, Shanur also serves to dress my husband." The relationship between the two quickly heated up. They were laughing and joking, dressed neatly, and came to the living room with happy faces. With a smile on Qing'er's face, the two had breakfast. Luo Qingxian needed to deal with yesterday's elixir matter, so she bid farewell to Yi Xingqian and went to the Empress Palace. Yi Xingqian was left alone. Today, Yi Xingqian did not plan to go to the Huxin Pavilion. Instead, he asked Qing'er not to disturb him. He said that he planned to practice hard, so he came to the room in Fengqi Palace, because today Yi Xingqian also had something else to do. Yi Xingqian planned to put on the heaven-stealing god and pretend to be a master of the demon clan. In this way, he would turn the sky demon into a divine tower and give it to Luo Qingxian. Thanks to the system reward, Yi Xingqian really didn't know how to turn the sky demon into a god tower and give it to Luo Qingxian. But before that, Yi Xingqian planned to complete today's sign-in first, so he said to the system, "System, sign in today." Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, Tassel Shansha. Tassel Immortal Yarn, a defensive secret treasure for women, has no grade. It is woven from chaotic beasts and ancient silk that eats the sky. The sky-eating ancient silkworm spins very little silk, and its silk is impervious to water and fire, and its defensive power is amazing. After a woman wears it, it can withstand a full blow from the Great Emperor realm, making it a rare defensive secret treasure. Hearing the sound of the system, Yi Xingqian was excited. He was worried about what gift to give Luo Qingxian. The system immediately rewarded itself with a defensive secret treasure used by women, and it was produced by the system and must be a high-quality product. It could withstand a full blow from a powerful person in the Great Emperor realm, which was equivalent to saving an extra life. Just when Yi Xingqian was excited and looked happy, the voice of the system came over. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, Pengu stepping to the sky. Pengu stepped on the sky, a Dao-level body and martial arts skill. With one step, the sun, moon and stars surrounded him, and the Dao laws were carried with him. It was like going back in time, and the distance between heaven and earth was reached in one step, ignoring any time and space formations. Ding, would you like to ask the host if you want to practice Pengu stepping to the sky immediately? At this moment, Yi Xingqian was extremely excited when he heard the rewards from the system. This Pengu heavenly step was so awesome. It ignored any time and space formations. As long as he wanted to, he could reach anywhere in one step with one step. Yi Xingqian couldn't help but excitedly said to the system. System, practice Pengu stepping to the sky. Ding, Pengu treading steps is in the process of practicing. Congratulations to the host for learning Pengu treading steps. Because the host is a chaotic body of the great Tao and is born with unparalleled luck, he can directly cultivate Pengu treading steps to the highest level. As soon as the system finished speaking, in Yi Xingqian's mind, a majestic figure stepped out, exuding golden divine light, surrounded by the sun, moon and stars. The terrifying laws of the Great Avenue descended, and countless strong men kowtowed to him in worship. An eternal and invincible momentum that overwhelms the heavens emanates from that majestic figure. In an instant, this invincible momentum entered Yi Xingqian's mind, making Yi Xingqian experience the feeling of being the only one who is the center of attention. Opening his eyes, Yi Xingqian's eyes flashed with light, and he stood up with a smile. This system is really powerful. This Pengu heavenly step is simply tailor-made for me. With this heavenly step, when I appear on the stage, I will be so awesome and earth-shattering. Coming to the window, Yi Xingqian looked at the Empress Palace in the distance and thought excitedly. Seeing that there was no sound coming from the system, Yi Xingqian took out the Thiefian Sun Changer from the system space and put it on his face. He felt no discomfort and his whole aura also experienced a huge change. With one step forward, Yi Xingqian, who was wearing a mask, instantly arrived above the Empress Palace. A terrifying aura spread out, sweeping across the entire demon clan in an instant. In the depths of the demon clan, dozens of ancestors of the immortal emperors emerged. Luo Qingxian, who was in the Empress Palace, sensed it immediately. This terrifying momentum appeared above the Empress Palace at the same time. The entire demon clan was surprised when they looked at the majestic figure above the Empress Palace and the terrifying aura exuding from its body. When Luo Qingxian saw the majestic figure at first glance, he felt a little familiar, but the terrifying aura emanating from his body made Luo Qingxian give up his thoughts. This fellow Taoist entered the core territory of the demon clan without invitation, and was able to avoid detection by the demon clan's formation. What is his purpose? Come here quickly, otherwise it will be easy for your fellow Taoist to come. I'm afraid he wants to leave easily, but he will. It's not simple anymore. As soon as Luo Xuanu finished speaking, dozens of powerful immortal emperors dispersed in an instant. The position where they stood vaguely turned out to be a large attack formation, surrounded by dozens of powerful immortal emperors. You should hate this. Yi Xingqian stood in the void, shaking his head slightly as if he had no reaction to the terrifying aura exuded by dozens of powerful immortal emperors. The demon clan is really getting weaker and weaker. Now there is only one great emperor in the entire demon clan. The supreme glory of the demon clan in ancient times is gone. Yi Xingqian said, and the sound he made actually made him slightly stunned. In such a sudden change, even his own voice changed. Now he was not afraid of being discovered by Luo Qingxian. Hearing this voice, Luo Qingyan frowned slightly and said domineeringly, "Senior, you are not here to belittle the demon clan. Although the demon clan is not as powerful as it was in ancient times, it is not something that anyone can insult at will." As soon as Luo Qingxian finished speaking, an even more terrifying immortal emperor realm aura emitted from her body, pressing towards Yi Xingqian like a huge wave. Luo Qingxian just wanted to test the true level of cultivation of this figure. Hearing Luo Qingxian's words and feeling the terrifying aura of Luo Qingxian pressing towards him, Yi Xingqian secretly praised him in his heart, but he still had to pretend on the surface. The next moment, an invincible aura belonging to the great emperor realm emanated from his body, causing dozens of powerful immortal emperors around him, including Luo Qingxian, to be instantly frightened, with horror on their faces. Although Yi Xingqian only revealed a trace of the aura of the great emperor, it made the hairs of dozens of them, the immortal emperors, explode, their faces changed dramatically, and they couldn't help but exclaim, "The strong emperor!" And what Yi Xingqian revealed, this hint of the emperor's aura actually made many demon clan people watching secretly around him feel the urge to kowtow. Fortunately, this trace of the emperor's aura disappeared as quickly as it came. The next moment, deep in the demon clan, an old figure, with a hunched body, came forward step by step, as if walking in the long river of time. Although the speed was slow, it appeared in front of Yi Xingchen in an instant. Seeing this rickety old figure, dozens of powerful immortal emperors bowed and saluted, shouting excitedly. Greetings to the emperor. Luo Qingshan and Luo Xuanvi knelt down directly on the ground and said with joy on their faces. Greetings to the ancestor. This powerful demon clan emperor turned out to be the direct ancestor of Luo Qingshan and Luo Xuanvi. No wonder Luo Xuanvi was told to stop immediately with just one sentence and not dare to attack Yi Xingchen again. The people from the monster clan around them were even more excited. Countless of them had only heard of the great emperor patriarch of the monster clan, but had never seen it. Now that they finally saw it, everyone bowed down and saluted. Greetings to the great ancestor. Greetings to the great ancestor. At this moment, looking at the demon emperor who seemed to have walked out of the river of time, the demon people around him looked excited. Countless of them have only heard of the great emperor patriarch of the monster clan, but have never seen it. Now that they finally saw it, everyone bowed and saluted. Greetings to the great ancestor. Greetings to the great ancestor. The rickety figure waved his hand, and everyone felt a gentle force lifting them up. Then he looked at Luo Qingshan and Luo Xuanu with kind faces, smiled and nodded, leaving a burst of surprise in their eyes. The next moment, the rickety figure turned around and looked at Yi Xingchen, who was wearing a mask, and an old voice sounded. With such a level of cultivation, fellow Taoist, why should I have the same experience as a junior? I, Luo Tianhe, have met fellow Taoist. As soon as Luo Tianhe finished speaking, countless demon clans around him made inhaling sounds. Hiss. Luo Tianhe's words were equivalent to acknowledging that Yi Xingchen was also a powerful emperor of the same level. I don't know why you came to the demon clan. Although, as fellow Taoist said, the demon clan is far less powerful now than in ancient times, but no one can break into it. Please explain the situation, otherwise. As soon as Luo Tianhe finished speaking, he raised his hand, and within the entire monster clan, laws descended, just like the law of heaven descending, and a terrifying formation descended, which was the monster clan's mountain-protecting formation, the 10,000 monsters and god-killing formation. Standing in the void, Yi Xingchen felt this terrifying formation and couldn't help but secretly thought. You are worthy of being called a demon clan. Although the current strength is far less powerful than in ancient times, a skinny camel is bigger than a horse, and the foundation is still profound. Although this formation does not pose any threat to Yi Xingchen in the Heavenly Emperor realm, it can be replaced by it's enough for an ordinary Great Emperor realm powerhouse to have a headache. Seeing this, Yi Xingchen didn't want to start a war with the demon clan, so he looked at Luo Tianhe and said. I was entrusted by my old friend to return the demon clan's artifact. Where is the female emperor of the demon clan? After hearing Yi Xingchen's words, Luo Qingshan stood up and gave a slight salute to Yi Xingchen. This salute was a sign of respect for the powerful emperor. Junior Luo Qingshan is now the empress of the demon clan. Senior, please tell me something. Luo Qingshan looked at Yi Xingchen's figure, and there was always a sense of familiarity in her heart, which she couldn't explain. Well, yes, at such a young age, he is already a strong man in the immortal emperor realm. He has a promising future. You need to remember that although our demon tribe does not fight or rob, it can never be bullied by anyone. As the empress, you will lead the demon tribe to reappear in ancient times and bring glory to the demon tribe. Hearing the words of the majestic figure opposite, many monsters were shocked. From the meaning of this figure's words, this person turned out to be a monster. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Xingchen flipped the page, and a smaller version of the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower appeared in Yi Xingchen's hand. With a wave of his hand, the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower was lifted up by a gentle force and slowly fell to the ground. In Luo Qingshan's hands, looking at the small tower exuding ancient meaning in his hand, Luo Qingshan didn't know why, and raised her head and looked at Yi Xingchen with a questioning expression. Sensing the questioning look in Luo Qingshan's eyes, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and looked at Luo Qingshan with eyes full of tenderness. This tower is our demon clan's clan-suppressing artifact, the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower. You should have heard that since ancient times, after the war between immortals and demons, its whereabouts are unknown, and I also obtained it accidentally. I didn't want to send the demon clan back. Seeing the current state of the demon clan, I felt very angry. However, After thinking about it, although the demon clan is now far from the glory and splendor of ancient times, I still have the pride and strength. After all, I can't see the power of the demon clan. Weak, show up today to bring back the clan's artifact. At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the whole place fell silent. Luo Tianhe even dodged directly to Luo Qingxian, reached out and took the miniature version of the Sky Demon Transformation Tower into his hands, and observed it carefully. The more I watched, the more excited I became. I couldn't help but tremble all over, and finally burst into laughter. As expected, it is the Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower. It is indeed the Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower. The artifact that suppresses the clan has finally returned to the clan. It is the blessing of the demon clan. Good, good, good. 3 consecutive words of hello made all the people of the monster clan wake up in an instant. The ancestor of the great emperor personally identified it, and it seemed that it was indeed the artifact of the monster clan that had disappeared in ancient times. This is actually the legendary demon clan suppressing artifact, the Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower. God bless the demon clan. God bless the demon clan. When an immortal emperor ancestor heard Luo Tianhe's words, his eyes filled with tears and he shouted excitedly. Also excited were dozens of other powerful immortal emperors from the demon clan. Many people from the demon clan watching the excitement below were flushed with excitement. The Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower is something that all the people from the demon clan have heard about since childhood. It is something that every person from the demon clan needs in their life. Looking for artifacts. Unexpectedly, he was sent back by someone, and this person was probably also a living demon emperor. At this moment, Luo Qingxian looked at the scaled-down version of the Heavenly Demon Transformation Tower in his hand, and was equally excited, with his face flushed. The clan-suppressing artifact that could save all demon clans from the disaster of transformation, now appeared in her hands. How could she not be excited? Looking at the majestic figure in front of her, Luo Qingxian bowed to that figure. A gift. Seeing this, all the demon clan, including Luo Tianhe who was in the great emperor realm, bowed towards that majestic figure. Everyone was willing to accept this gift. The figure proudly accepted this gift. After safely accepting the gift from the demon clan, Yi Xingqian raised his hand and a soft force lifted everyone up. When using it, you only need to input a trace of fairy power, and the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower can return to its original size. The Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower returns to its normal size and can immediately connect to the demon clan's immortal veins, become one with the entire demon clan, and suppress the demon clan's destiny. No one can take it away. You can safely put it anywhere in the demon clan. I don't care where you put it. Since the artifact has been returned, I'm leaving. After Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he was about to leave when Luo Tianhe's old voice sounded. You and I are both the emperors of the demon clan. Now that we are back, why do we have to leave again? Is it because of? Hearing Luo Tianhe's words, Yi Xingqian didn't dare to answer casually, otherwise it would be directly exposed. It turned out that a strong emperor from the demon clan had disappeared. He didn't know what he was doing, so he didn't answer casually. Hearing Luo Tianhe's words, Yi Xingqian did not answer directly, but said aloud. Now that the Great Age is approaching, the Shenhuang continent will undergo great changes. I have other things to do. If the demon clan is in trouble, I will return. After Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he turned to look at Luo Qingxian who was aside and said. You are the empress of the demon clan, why do you have such a strong human aura? Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian was slightly startled, her pretty face flushed, but she said loudly. Reporting to the great emperor and ancestor, my husband is from the human race. Since this person was the ancestor of the great emperor of the monster clan, Luo Qingxian did not hide it and spoke directly. As soon as Luo Qingxian finished speaking, a terrifying consciousness swept across her. After a moment, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly and pretended to say. Yes, the human man in Fengqi Palace has great luck and unparalleled temperament. He should be your perfect match. After Yi Xingqian finished speaking, he took out the tassel fairy gauze rewarded by the system directly from the system space, and gave it to Luo Qingxian with a wave of his hand. This is a tasseled fairy gauze made from the silk spun by ancient sky-eating silkworms. It is invulnerable to water and fire and has amazing defensive power. After a woman wears it, she can withstand a full blow from the great emperor realm. I give it to you today. I hope you too can join hands. Let's go together and lead the demon clan to regain the glory of the demon clan. After Yi Xingchen finished speaking, he stopped staying, took one step forward, and disappeared in an instant. No one could find him. The next moment, Yi Xingchen appeared in Fengqi Palace. He gently took off his fishing rod and walked towards the lake pavilion with a smile on his face as if nothing happened. At this moment, in the void of the Empress Palace, Luo Tianhe could not help but whisper. This person's strength is far superior to that of this emperor. There are formations in Fengqi Palace that even my divine consciousness cannot see through. However, this person can be found with just one scan. This shows how powerful he is. Fortunately, we are both demons. Great luck. Hearing Luo Tianhe's words, Luo Qingshan asked. Ancestor, this great ancestor, is he going to? Hearing Luo Qingshan's question, Luo Tianhe turned around and stepped out, disappearing into the depths of the demon clan. Luo Tianhe's old voice came from the air. This is a great cause and effect. I can't say it, and the Empress doesn't need to ask. First, place the clan suppressing artifact and let the untransformed people of the demon clan transform first. This emperor also needs to sleep. Now that the great age is approaching, and the artifact that suppresses the clan has returned to the clan, the demon clan will definitely prosper, and this person's vision is the same as this emperor's. Yi Xingchen is indeed a good match for the Empress. The future of the demon clan must be attributed to this son. Quote. Looking at the direction in which her ancestor disappeared, Luo Qingshan's pretty face turned slightly red and she turned to look in the direction of Fengqi Palace. Just when she found her husband's figure, heading towards the lake center pavilion, Luo Qingshan's eyes were full of affection when she saw the back figure that filled her body and mind. At this moment, after hearing Luo Tianhe's words, Luo Qingshan smiled slightly and turned to look in the direction of Fengqi Palace. Just when she found her husband holding a fishing rod and heading towards the pavilion in the middle of the lake, Luo Qingshan's eyes were full of affection when she saw the back figure that filled her body and mind. At this moment, many demon clan members around them recovered from their shock. Hey, did you hear that? There is actually a strong emperor in our demon tribe, and Ancestor Luo said it himself, he is even stronger than him. A strong man from the demon race said to another man from the demon race next to him. That's right, and we even found the missing artifact of our demon clan, the Heavenly Demon Transformation God Tower. This is something we have been taught since we were young. We didn't expect it to come back. In the future, the younger generation of our demon clan, there is no need to go through the catastrophe of transformation, and the strength of our demon clan will become stronger and stronger. After hearing the words of the friend next to him, another strong demon clan man spoke up. And our Lord Emperor, even the ancestor can see his extraordinary qualities. Moreover, Emperor Zun is born with great luck, and he is a natural match for the Empress. Yes, no wonder the Empress and the Emperor are getting married, and Dadao personally congratulates them. It shows that the Emperor is very lucky, and he is also a talented human being and a noble alchemist. Now that we want to use the elixir, we can go directly to the chaos furnace to refine it. Just make it, refine it as much as you need, go out and practice it, there is no need to skimp on it. Quote. That's right, when Emperor Zun came to our monster clan, he did so many things for the monster clan and solved our big trouble. Then the clan's artifact returned. Is it all because of Emperor Zun's unfavorable luck? A strong demon clan man said with some sigh. The theory of luck is too mysterious, but the temperament of Emperor Zun is absolutely admirable. Not only does he not have the arrogance of the human race, he is also approachable. I am willing to accept Emperor Zun as my boss. Another young demon clan member said even more excitedly. At this moment, listening to the discussion of the demon clan people below, Luo Qingshan looked at Yi Xingchen with eyes that became more and more affectionate. After taking a deep breath, sorting out her emotions, and looking at the dozens of immortal emperor ancestors around her, Luo Qingshan said aloud. This emperor has decided to place the Heavenly Demon Transformation Tower in the 10,000 Demons Square where the Chaos Furnace is located. What do you think? Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, dozens of immortal emperor ancestors all nodded in agreement. Even the two demon emperors said that no one could take away the Sky Demon Transformation Tower, and they had nothing to worry about. Yes. Seeing all the ancestors and no one objecting, Luo Qingshan dodged directly and arrived in the void of 10,000 demons square. Looking at the chaos furnace below, which still exuded a faint divine light, Luo Qingshan couldn't help but smile. At this moment, all the people of the monster clan have arrived at the 10,000 monsters square, waiting for the exciting moment to come. With this artifact to suppress the clan, from now on, all the people of the monster clan no longer need to experience the disaster of transformation. How can I not be excited? Luo Qingshan, who was standing in the void, looked at the expressions of excitement and anticipation on the faces of the people below. He put a small version of the Sky Demon Transformation Tower in his hand, input a stream of fairy energy, and threw it downwards. The Sky Demon Transformation God Tower is actually in midair, growing with the wind, getting bigger and bigger. There was a boom. The Sky Demon Transformation Tower had just landed on the central platform of 10,000 demons square, and it instantly turned into a giant tower about 9 meters high. The tower body is covered with criss-crossing traces, as if it has experienced all kinds of wind and rain, and is exuding crystal light. An ancient meaning emanates from the tower body, and people can feel at a glance that this tower is extraordinary place. Everyone looked at the heavenly demon transformation tower in front of them, which exuded crystal light and had ancient meanings, and their hearts were filled with excitement beyond words. The next moment, the heavenly demon transformation god tower emitted rays of divine light, like a world giant tree, taking root in the demon clan. The entire demon race's immortal veins emerged from the void and turned into a huge figure. The figure kept changing, roaring to the sky, and countless purple energy flew from the sky and entered the figure. The entire Shenhuang continent was shaken. In the sky above the demon clan, purple energy gathered for millions of miles. Such an astonishing scene instantly attracted the attention of countless forces. All the people of the demon clan felt the joy of the huge figure, and looked up to the sky and roared again, and the millions of miles of purple energy turned into a rolling torrent and entered the huge figure. The eyes of that huge figure actually emitted rays of divine light, as if it had self-awareness, and then turned into purple gold fairy veins and disappeared into the demon clan. At this moment, all the people of the monster clan felt their minds clear, as if they were enlightened. In fact, this is the benefit of the so-called power of luck, and this is why all forces, dynasties, and emperors use clan-suppressing artifacts to suppress luck. Those who are surrounded by good luck will have clear ears and eyes, open their understanding, strengthen their muscles and body, and will not be invaded by any evil. Now the demon clan's artifact has returned, absorbing the demon clan's luck scattered between heaven and earth, and suppressing it in the demon clan's immortal veins. Invisibly, it has baptized all the demon clan people, allowing all the demon clan people to instantly it feels like enlightenment. All the people of the monster clan did not expect that the clan's artifact suppressed luck and had such side benefits, and they all looked excited. The next moment, Luo Qingshan arrived in front of the heavenly demon transformation god tower. Looking at the heavenly demon transformation god tower, her eyes flashed with light. Great Elder, starting tomorrow, let all the people of the demon clan who have not experienced the catastrophe of transformation enter the Sky Demon Transformation Tower and transform into gods. From now on, our demon clan will rise on its own. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, the great elder Wan Qinli immediately responded, and all the people from the demon clan looked excited when they heard Luo Qingshan's words, and even shouted. The demon clan rises. The demon clan rises. Especially those who are parents, they will no longer have to suffer the pain of losing a child. After all, not everyone can survive the catastrophe of transformation, and those who cannot survive the demon clan who were shocked and killed by the catastrophe are really too many. Now that the demon clan's artifact has returned, the demon clan no longer needs to experience the pain of transformation. Just because of this, the demon clan will rise on its own. At this time, the scene changed. The huge changes that have taken place in the demon clan have also caused shock to the major forces of the human race. Millions of miles of purple energy have gathered in the sky above the demon clan. Something good must have happened to the demon clan to cause so much purple energy to gather. But what makes them more and more curious is that since the queen of the demon clan got married and Dao Dao personally congratulated her, the demon clan seemed to have undergone some kind of change, like breaking out of a cocoon and being reborn. Numerous forces speculated that the reason why this change occurred was because of the wedding of the demon empress. This also made countless forces more curious and sent people to investigate. What kind of man is it that can make the female emperor of the demon clan commit herself to marry? Where does the man come from? Is everything that has happened to the demon clan recently related to this son? At this moment, Han Xuanluo, the elder of Shangqing Palace, looked at the direction of the demon clan, remembered that extremely domineering figure, and murmured secretly. The great age is approaching. The demon clan has this son, and it is bound to rise unstoppably. As for the identity of this son, even the palace master has not found out. It seems that it is as I expected. This intention is not simple. Could it be those hidden giant from the holy religion? Thinking of that handsome man who was extremely domineering but had an unparalleled temperament, Han Xuanluo whispered to himself. At this time, Yi Xingqian, who was far away in the lake pavilion of the demon clan, had no idea what was happening in the human race. Even if he knew about it, he would smile slightly and not care. Yi Xingqian did not expect that there would be such a big reaction when the Sky Demon Transformation Tower returned to the demon clan. At this time, Yi Xingqian was sitting in the pavilion in the middle of the lake with a comfortable look on his face, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and a beautiful figure kept appearing in his mind. Thinking of his wife's shy appearance, Yi Xingqian's eyes flashed with tenderness. At this time, everyone was busy investigating Yi Xingqian's identity. Yi Xingqian was sitting in the lake pavilion with a comfortable look on his face, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and a beautiful figure kept appearing in his mind. Thinking of his wife's shy appearance, Yi Xingqian's eyes flashed with tenderness. In the evening, looking up at the sky getting darker and darker, Yi Xingqian packed up his fishing rod and walked slowly towards Fengqi Palace with a smile on his lips. By this time, Luo Qingxian should have finished his work. Returning to Fengqi Palace, just as Yi Xingqian expected, Luo Qingxian had returned. Seeing Yi Xingqian coming back from a distance, Luo Qingxian greeted him happily. Looking at the smile on Luo Qingxian's face, Yi Xingqian asked softly, pretending not to know. Look at my lady, is there anything happy today? Is it related to the million-mile purple energy in the sky today? Holding Yi Xingqian's arm, Luo Qingxian gently showed her true side. When she heard Yi Xingqian ask, Luo Qingxian smiled tenderly. Well, I'm very happy today. Husband, I'll go and wash up first. After dinner, I'll tell you everything in detail. Looking at Luo Qingxian who looked happy, Yi Xingqian nodded slightly, feeling in his heart that everything he had done was worth it. After all, being able to make the woman he loves happy should be what any man would like to see. After the meal, Luo Qingxian took Yi Xingqian's arm affectionately and came to the window of the room. Looking at Luo Qingxian's beautiful side face, so charming, Yi Xingqian was slightly absent-minded for a moment. Turning her head to look at Yi Xingqian, Luo Qingxian gave her husband a charming look, and then burst into laughter with a puff. Only then did Yi Xingqian come to his senses and gently put Luo Qingxian into his arms. After kissing her forehead gently, looking at Luo Qingxian's charming look, Yi Xingqian asked aloud. My husband can feel that my wife is very happy today. If you tell me what happened, I will make your husband happy too. Yi Xingqian pretended not to know anything, looked at Luo Qingxian, and asked softly. Husband, do you know? There is actually an ancestor of the great emperor realm in our monster clan, and he returned to the monster clan today, and brought the clan-suppressing artifact that had disappeared in the ancient times of the monster clan, the heavenly demon transformation god tower sent back. Shanur has placed the heavenly demon transformation god tower next to the chaos furnace. If you have nothing to do, please go to the 10,000 demons square to have a look. The artifact of the Gen clan has returned, connecting the demon clan's immortal veins and suppressing the demon clan's luck. This is why the purple descending from the sky was triggered. A million miles angry. And from now on, the demon clan no longer needs to experience the catastrophe of transformation. All the people of the demon clan who have not yet transformed can just enter the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower and emerge. There is no need to experience the catastrophe of transformation. This is the foundation of the demon clan. Looking at the excited Luo Qingxian in his arms, with sparkling tears in his eyes, Yi Xingqian smiled tenderly, raised his hand and gently stroked Luo Qingxian's back to express comfort. Feeling her husband's affection, Luo Qingxian stood up from Yi Xingqian's arms, with tears of happiness in her eyes, and smiled shyly. Now that the artifact has returned to its family, Shanur is so happy today that her husband is laughing at her." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingqian reached out and pinched Luo Qingshan's straight nose, and said softly, "You and I are one husband and wife. When my husband sees his wife happy, he is also very happy in his heart. How can he laugh at my wife?" Feeling the overwhelming love in her husband's heart, Luo Qingshan's eyes burst with joy, and she threw herself into Yi Xingqian's arms, her face full of shyness. "Husband, let's go to bed early." After Luo Qingshan finished speaking, she threw her head into Yi Xingqian's arms with a shy look. Looking at the jade-like woman in his arms, Yi Xingqian smiled tenderly and thought in his heart, "Such a woman truly loves me. If I can't make her happy, it would be a huge sin." Thinking of this, Yi Xingqian gently picked up Luo Qingshan across her waist, and walked towards the bed under Luo Qingshan's charming eyes. Early the next morning, when Yi Xingqian woke up naturally, Luo Qingshan was no longer around. Yi Xingqian knew that today was a big day for the demon clan. Many demon clans who had not transformed into gods would transform into gods through the sky demon today. The tower took shape. Thinking of what happened yesterday and last night, Yi Xingqian's heart was filled with love. If he could make the demon clan empress do this, I'm afraid only she could do it. Under Qing'er's service, after washing up and having breakfast, Qing'er actually prepared the fishing rod early. Looking at Qing'er, who was smiling, sticking out his tongue, and looking mischievous, Yi Xingqian reached out and touched the girl's head. In the face of the girl's shameful and angry expression, he smiled happily and walked towards the location of the Huxin Pavilion. "Today's life is what I want most. I have a woman who loves me deeply and a cute little girl. I get up to fish and sign in every day. I can't be too happy." After arriving at the lake pavilion and throwing out the fishing rod, Yi Xingqian spoke to the system and said, "System, check-in starts today. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, 10 immortal golden elixirs." The immortal golden elixir, a divine elixir, can be refined by gathering thousands of kinds of spiritual herbs and elixirs and going through 9 immortal tribulations. On the day the elixir is completed, the fragrance will float thousands of miles and will not dissipate for 3 days. Taking it can extend your life for 100,000 years. Only one person can take it. It is the best among the divine elixirs. Ding, the system is signing in. The sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the reward, 1,000,000 bottles of the best wine. It has been automatically stored in the system space. Yi Xingqian, who was sitting in the pavilion in the middle of the lake, listened to the sound of the system and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. 1 immortal golden elixir can extend one's life by 100,000 years, which is simply incredible. He is proficient in the alchemy sect's true solution to alchemy. Although there are life-extending elixirs in it, they can extend life for up to 100 years. Now that the system has signed in, he has been rewarded with a divine elixir that can extend his life for 100,000 years. How could Yi Xingqian not be excited? Yi Xingqian knew very well that if an immortal golden elixir was taken out, the entire Shenhuang continent would be in chaos. Seeing that there were millions more top-grade divine wines in the system space, plus the millions of top-grade divine wines given away by the system last time, Yi Xingqian instantly had an idea in his mind. This wine is the best wine after the system improvement, and it is unique in the entire Shenhuang continent. Not only can it restore the power of the fairy spirit in the body, but it can also slowly increase the cultivation level. If such a divine wine is auctioned, it may bring a huge fortune to the demon clan. Yi Xingqian stood up, put away the fishing rod, and placed it in the pavilion in the middle of the lake. He turned to look at the location of 10,000 Demons Square. As the emperor of the demon clan, how could he not go and take a look at such an important day for the demon clan? How could such an important day go without good wine? Thinking of this, Yi Xingqian smiled slightly, raised his feet and walked towards the direction of Wanyao Square, thinking secretly in his heart. Fine wine tastes best when you drink it with brothers. At this moment, Yi Xingqian walked slowly all the way to Wanyao Square. The entire Wanyao Square was overcrowded. Many people from the demon clan bowed and saluted when they saw Yi Xingqian arriving, their eyes full of admiration. Because of Emperor Zun, they can refine elixirs at will. They don't have to be frugal like before. All the saved spiritual stones can be used for cultivation, which also makes their strength greatly improved. Similarly, the strength of the entire monster clan has also improved a lot. There are only a few monster clan members. After the ancient war between immortals and demons, countless monster clan were killed and injured. If it weren't for the monster clan and the powerful immortal emperor sitting in charge, a great emperor ancestor by suppressing the major forces in the divine wilderness, the demon clan might have been swallowed up by the cannibals long ago. It's just that for some unknown reason, the powerful monsters above the emperor disappeared. At the same time, the powerful people above the human emperor also disappeared. This matter became a taboo topic in the entire Shenhuang continent. After so many years, countless rumors have been circulated in private. Some say that these strong men have ascended to a higher world, some say that these strong men are secretly guarding the divine desolate continent, and some even say that these strong men have already given up on the divine desolate continent, waiting for the invasion of the demons. In any case, although the demon clan is now the top power in the Shenhuang continent, commanding the endless forest and possessing countless spiritual herbs and elixirs, it is sitting on the treasure mountain in vain because there is no alchemist. Now, because of the appearance of Emperor Zun, the monster clan has undergone tremendous changes. Just as the ancestor of the monster clan's great emperor said, Emperor Zun is born with great luck and will lead the monster clan to regain the glory of the ancient monster clan. Although Emperor Zun is not strong, he does not have the arrogance of the human race. With his unique personal charm, he has been recognized by all the people of the demon clan and is respectfully called Emperor Zun Boss. Yi Xingchen smiled all the way, looking at the admiration in the eyes of the demon people, and sighed in his heart, the people of the demon clan have simple minds, and they are far inferior to the human race. Seeing Yi Xingchen's arrival, Luo Qingshan came in a flash, and next to Yi Xingchen, her eyes were full of surprise. Not caring about the gazes of the tribesmen, he took Yi Xingchen's arm affectionately, came to the chair next to the Sky Demon Transformation God Tower, and sat down on the chair. All the people from the demon clan had blessings in their eyes. Seeing the Empress and the Emperor being so close, all the people from the demon clan had smiles on their faces. "Why are you here, husband?" Luo Qingshan said with joy on her face. "Today is a big day for the demon clan, why don't you, husband, come and take a look?" Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, the smile in Luo Qingshan's eyes grew stronger. Shanur knew that her husband didn't like the excitement, so she didn't ask her to come with her. Shanur was very happy that her husband could come. Looking at Yi Xingchen, Luo Qingshan said softly with a happy face. "Madam, how are you? The transformation should be almost completed." Yi Xingchen looked at Luo Qingshan affectionately, smiled slightly, and asked aloud. "Well, it's basically completed. Except for the demon clan who have not yet reached the age of transformation, all the people who have not yet transformed have completed their transformation. The demon clan will become more and more powerful as a result." Hearing her husband's question, Luo Qingshan said happily. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, Yi Xingchen smiled and nodded. Suddenly, a figure in black appeared, cupped his fists and saluted Luo Qingshan and Yi Xingchen. "My subordinates pay homage to the Empress, and pay homage to the Emperor." Looking at the sudden appearance of the black-clothed figure, all the demon clan became silent. The black-clothed figure was the Empress' personal guard, and their strength was in the immortal king realm. Every time he appeared, something important happened, so among all the demon clan, everyone became quiet. Looking at the black-clad guard who suddenly appeared, Luo Qingshan asked aloud. "Didn't I ask you to patrol the Wandan Pavilion? Why did you return to the demon clan?" "Empress Qi, my subordinates are coming back this time under the orders of the immortal emperor ancestor to bring back news and spiritual stones." Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, the black-clothed guard answered directly. He looked at Yi Xingchen with admiration in his eyes, and then said, "The 3 elixirs refined by Lord Emperor are already in short supply in our Wandan Pavilion." The ancestor asked his subordinates to come back and report the matter to the Empress, and asked them to bring another batch of elixirs. On the other hand, the elixirs sold this time and the spiritual stones obtained, excluding the expenses, have all been brought back by my subordinates, totaling 1,000,000. After the black-clothed guard finished speaking, he took out a dark gold token and a storage ring and handed them to Luo Qingshan. At this moment, hearing the words of the black-clothed guard, all the people in the demon clan were shocked. In just a few days, 3 kinds of elixirs had sold millions of spirit stones, which was simply beyond their imagination. Turning to look at Emperor Zun, who was sitting there with a smile on his face, the admiration in the eyes of all the demon clan members became even stronger. Luo Qingshan was also shocked. She reached out and took the dark gold token and storage ring. After confirming that it was the real ancestor token, she returned the token to the black-clothed guard. Then a flash of consciousness swept over the storage ring, and Luo Qingshan's eyes were filled with excitement when she saw the million-sized spiritual stone in the ring. It's not that Luo Qingshan has never seen millions of spirit stones, but that he was able to earn so much income in just a few days. This made Luo Qingshan extremely shocked and excited, and he never expected that the pill business would be so profitable. If this continues, the demon clan will no longer worry about the spirit stones, it will all be because of the man around them. Luo Qingshan turned her head and looked at Yi Xingshan with affectionate eyes. There were countless things she wanted to say, but she couldn't say them because there were too many people present. At this time, Yi Xingshan seemed to understand the meaning in Luo Qingshan's eyes, smiled slightly, and held Luo Qingshan's hand tightly. The two looked at each other, as if they had a clear understanding of each other, and everything was unspoken. Countless people from the demon tribe around looked at the two of them with eyes that could pull out silk threads, and they immediately ate another wave of dog food. Suddenly, two inappropriate voices broke this beauty. Second brother, have you seen that when you look for a mother-in-law in the future, you should look for someone like the Empress? The look in your eyes will make you look like a mother-in-law. This is true love, understand? Boss, I understand. Just like Kuewa looks at the boss, every time she sees the boss, her eyes sparkle like stars. This is true love. At this moment, two voices suddenly appeared, making the entire 10,000 demons square even quieter. The faces of all the demon clan people kept twitching, and the look of wanting to laugh but not daring to laugh made all the demon clan people hold back their faces, flushed. At this time, behind Luo Qingshan, a woman with a delicate appearance looked in the direction of the two of them, her face flushed and her eyes flashing with cannibalism. Boss, why do I feel so cold all over my body? Do you feel this way? Well, it's strange. I feel it too. Could it be that I'm having an illusion? The weather shouldn't be like this. Why does this feel so similar to what Kuewa felt when she looked at me? Listening to the conversation between the two, Yi Xingshan also twitched the corner of his mouth. Feeling the terrifying murderous intent emanating from the woman behind him, Yi Xingshan looked at the two with infinite sympathy in his eyes. And these two people are none other than the Huobao brothers, Shang Weiyang and Shang Wushan. The next moment, the woman behind Yi Xingshan disappeared, and a heroic voice filled the air. The bear is helpless, I will chop you up. The next moment, the woman's figure appeared next to Shang Wenwei, which shocked Shang Wenwei, who was still immersed in the world of the two of them. He was so familiar with this aura. Just as he was about to run away, a strong jade hand pinched his ear and turned it around. A shocking shout rang out. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, Kuewa, let go, are you trying to murder your husband? At this moment, the demon clan members around them could no longer hold back and started laughing. Let the beautiful Kuewa blush even more. Okay, Kuewa, come back. It's not like you don't know the tempers of these two fools. The next moment, Luo Qingshan's words sounded, with some helplessness in her voice, and she shook her head slightly. After turning around fiercely again, Kuewa seemed to be relieved and glared at Shang Fengwei fiercely. He turned around and kicked Shang Wushan, who was snickering next to him, to the ground. He snorted and ducked back behind Luo Qingshan. Facing Luo Qingshan and Yi Xingshan, she saluted with a flushed face. Looking at Shang Wenfa, who looked depressed, the corners of her mouth could not help but curl up slightly. Luo Qingshan also looked at the two depressed brothers speechlessly, and said to Yi Xingshan beside him. Husband, you earned this spiritual stone and it should be distributed by you. What do you plan to do? Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, everyone looked at Yi Xingshan, but Yi Xingshan smiled slightly and said softly to Luo Qingshan. Just let the lady divide it up. What belongs to the husband belongs to the lady. There is no need to divide it between you and me. With a simple and gentle word, another wave of dog food filled countless monsters around them. Hearing her husband's words, Luo Qingshan's pretty face turned red, but her heart was filled with tenderness. In this case, Great Elder, put 1 million spirit stones into the demon clan's warehouse. From now on, the welfare of all demon clan will be greatly improved. Those who have contributed to the demon clan will be rewarded in addition. In addition, take a batch of each of the 3 types of elixirs and let the guards in black bring them back to Wandon Pavilion. From now on, the Great Elder will go to Wandon Pavilion every few days to deliver a batch of elixirs and take back the sold spiritual stones. Quote. The next moment, Luo Qingshan's majestic voice sounded, making countless demon clans around him excited. They no longer have to worry about spirit stones in the future. Hearing Luo Qingshan's words, the Great Elder came to Luo Qingshan thousands of miles away, took the storage ring with an excited face, then gave a slight salute to Luo Qingshan and Yi Xingshan, and disappeared. When he appeared again, 3 storage rings had been handed over to the black-clad guards. At this time, the guard in black clasped his fists at Luo Qingshan and Yi Xingshan and said, "My subordinates are resigning first. The ancestor asked them to return to Wandon Pavilion as soon as possible, for fear of affecting the sales of elixirs." Hearing the words of the black-clothed guard, Luo Qingshan nodded slightly. Seeing this, the black-clothed guard turned around and was about to leave when Yi Xingshan's voice rang out. "Since this brother is back, don't leave in a hurry. Today is a double happiness. I have some small gifts for you. Please bring this brother back to Wandon Pavilion." The next moment, Yi Xingshan waved his hand, and a surprising scene appeared. At this moment, seeing the guard in black turning around and leaving, Yi Xingshan said, "Brother, please don't leave in a hurry. Our demon clan is celebrating double happiness today. I have a small gift for you brothers. Please bring this brother back to Wandon Pavilion." After hearing Yi Xingshan's words, everyone's eyes focused on Yi Xingshan. Yi Xingshan waved his hand casually, and countless jade bottles emitting crystal light appeared in the hands of all the surrounding monsters. Looking at the jade bottle exuding crystal light in their hands and feeling the fairy spirit emanating from the bottle, everyone's eyes showed shock. "Let me go, have you felt it? The fairy spirit emanating from this bottle is actually made of the best spiritual stone." A strong demon clan man looked at the bottle in his hand and said with a shocked expression, "It's really the best spiritual stone. Is this a small gift given to us by Emperor Zun? Why do I feel that there is something in the bottle?" Another strong man from the demon race said the same thing. Seeing the shocked looks of the people around him, Yi Xingshan smiled slightly and said aloud, "Brothers, our demon clan has a double happiness today. It is worth celebrating. How can we do it without drinking? The wine in this bottle is the wine I brewed. It tastes pretty good. I will drink it with you brothers today." Although it was a system reward, Yi Xingshan couldn't say it clearly. He could only say that it was brewed by himself and the system rewarded him. There was nothing wrong with saying that. Yi Xingshan comforted himself in his heart. Hearing Yi Xingshan's words, everyone was shocked. Even Luo Qingshan, who was next to Yi Xingshan, was surprised. The wine was filled in a bottle made of top-quality spiritual stones. How high quality this wine must be. Seeing everyone's surprised expressions, Yi Xingshan smiled slightly and said, "Brothers, although this wine tastes good, you should not drink too much. Of course, after drinking, don't throw away the bottle. This is made of the best spiritual stone. Although it is not much, it can be regarded as the emperor's boss. It's a little thoughtful." Hearing Yi Xingshan's words, everyone laughed out loud, and some even shouted directly, "The emperor is so powerful. The emperor is so powerful." Hearing the shouting below, Yi Xingshan raised his hand to signal, and then said, "I am happy today, all brothers can drink from this bottle together." After Yi Xingshan finished speaking, he waved his hand again, and another bottle of the same bottle appeared in the hands of many monsters, and continued, "Brothers, please keep this bottle. The greatest effect of this wine is that after one sip, you can quickly restore the fairy spirit in your body and slowly increase your cultivation level. It is comparable to the fairy elixir. Don't waste it, brothers." At this moment, after hearing Yi Xingshan's words, the whole place fell silent instantly. Comparable to an elixir. The Emperor Zun boss is really powerful. Even if he doesn't take action, once he does, it will be Wang Zan, which will directly shock all the people of the demon clan. The next moment, a strong aroma of wine spread throughout the 10,000 demons square, causing countless demon clan members to slowly close their eyes and look like they were enjoying it. It was simply too delicious. But it turned out that it was Shang Fangfa and Shang Wushan. When they heard that the wine was brewed by Emperor Zun, they opened the bottle directly. The rich aroma of wine emanated from the mouth of the bottle. Gudong, Gudong. The two brothers Shangwen couldn't stand the strong aroma of the wine, so they opened their mouths and started drinking. At the same time, it also made countless people from the demon clan have their Adam's apples float up and down, and their mouths drooled. The aroma of the wine was really too strong. Others were not like the Shangfeng brothers. Emperor Zun didn't even speak. They were not that thick-skinned. Looking at the expressions of the demon clan people around him, Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and said, "Come on, brothers, let's drink from this bottle together, but as I say beforehand, this wine has a very high alcohol content, so those who are light drinkers can take just one sip, otherwise you will get drunk directly. Come on, do it." Hearing Yi Xingchen's words, all the demon clan members could no longer bear it, opened the bottles, raised their heads and drank. Good wine, good wine. Yes, it's so enjoyable. This is the real wine. Compared with the wine I drank before, it is completely different from this wine. It's so cool. I actually feel that the cultivation level in my body is slowly increasing. This is just a sip. This wine should be called the divine wine. Listening to the words of the people below, Luo Qingshan opened the bottle and took a sip. Her eyes lit up instantly. It was mellow, sweet, soft and refreshing, and the wine was full of fairy power. It was like eating a pill in one sip. Medicinal pills are average. At the same time, Luo Qingshan could clearly feel that his cultivation level had increased slightly. This was simply unbelievable. He was a powerful immortal emperor. This small sip of wine can actually improve my cultivation. Although it is only a little bit, it is because I am too strong. Sure enough, the next moment was just as Luo Qingshan thought. There were many demon clan people around who had just transformed, but because their strength was still low, after taking a sip, divine light flashed above their heads, and they broke through directly. The scene that followed was extremely spectacular, with divine lights flashing constantly, surprising countless people again. Everyone looked at Yi Xingchen with deep respect. This was worship from the bottom of their hearts. Emperor Zun let them taste such a divine wine at will. With such heroic spirit, who could not feel respectful? The next moment, all the monsters faced the direction of Yi Xingchen, clasped their hands in fists, knelt down on one knee, and shouted respectfully. Boss Emperor is mighty. Boss Emperor is domineering. The Emperor's boss is mighty. The Emperor's boss is domineering. At this moment, Luo Qingshan looked at her husband, but her heart was extremely excited. Kneeling down on one knee is the highest etiquette among the demon clan. Only the people they recognize most in their hearts are treated like this. Now all the people from the demon clan are kneeling down on one knee in front of Yi Xingchen. This means that they have regarded Yi Xingchen as the real boss, the boss who is willing to sacrifice their lives for him. How can Luo Qingshan not let Luo Qingshan do this? Excited. This gift represents complete and true recognition. This gift represents the complete return of all members of the demon clan. Seeing the reactions of the demon clan people around him, Yi Xingchen was equally excited. He suddenly felt heroic and said loudly, Okay, brothers, please get up. I accept this gift as the boss, not for anything else, but because this is the brothers' recognition of me as the boss. As the boss, I can bear this gift. The people below heard Yi Xingchen's words and stood up with a smile. Everyone looked at Yi Xingchen with incomparable respect. Did you see it? This is our emperor's boss. He is not as hypocritical as other human races. Say what you have to say and don't play with those lies. Nonsense, you don't need to say that Boss Emperor Zun is not an ordinary person. Don't think that Boss Emperor Zun is only in the Shantian realm. With just that move, 10,000 demons square, with so many people, can accurately control the situation with just a single wave. When the bottle falls into everyone's hands, not even the Immortal King or the Immortal Lord can do this. A sharp-eyed man from the demon clan spoke out to his companions. And being able to brew such a divine wine is comparable to a fairy elixir. I am worthy of being the emperor's boss. Mysterious and powerful. Hearing the comments from the people below, Yi Xingchen shook his head helplessly. He was so excited just now that he actually forgot about it. Fortunately, Luo Qingshan didn't ask out loud, otherwise he really didn't know how to explain it. Luo Qingshan was smiling at this moment, looking at her increasingly mysterious husband, her eyes full of smiles. Not only did she not have the slightest doubt in her heart, but she became more affectionate. Luo Qingshan believed in Yi Xingchen. Her husband didn't tell her, and she didn't ask. Everyone had secrets. He could feel Yi Xingqian's love for him, and this alone was enough. Seeing the reactions of the people below, Yi Xingqian raised his hand slightly, and the entire Wanyao square fell silent instantly. I'm happy today. We can't just drink together. These wine ladies arranged to give them to the ancestor of the demon clan. And please bring these brothers back to Wandan Pavilion. Today the demon clan is blessed with double happiness, and the entire demon clan celebrates together. Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, Luo Qingxian nodded slightly and looked at her husband's beautiful eyes with more and more affection. Suddenly, an old voice sounded. The emperor is a talented man from the human race, and he is born with great luck. I am shameless, can I ask the emperor to give a lecture to the demon clan's newly transformed disciples? At this moment, Yi Xingqian suddenly heard an old voice. The emperor is a talented man from the human race, and he is born with great luck. I am shameless, could you please ask the emperor to give a lecture to the demon clan's newly transformed disciples? As soon as the old voice fell, the entire demon clan suddenly became quiet, and everyone's faces were even more shocked. Preaching to all the demon clan's transformed disciples is not something that just anyone can do. This is no longer a question of strength and cultivation, it is related to the future of the entire demon clan. This is equivalent to being the master of the human race. If Yi Xingqian preaches to all the transformed demon disciples, it is equivalent to becoming the master of these demon disciples. From now on, these demon disciples will all be engraved with Yi Xingqian, shadow. It is said that the human race respects teachers and Taoism, and the demon race even more so. This is a great honor, but also an extremely heavy responsibility. The same will also give Yi Xingqian immense power, and even the entire demon clan will fall into Yi Xingqian's hands. This is not something that just one person can do. No wonder the entire demon clan fell silent instantly. Following the words, Yi Xingqian discovered that he turned out to be a white-haired old man with a red face. He must have drunk a lot, but there was a light of wisdom in his eyes. Seeing the old man slowly approaching, all the people from the monster clan bowed and saluted. Even Luo Qingxian, who was beside him, bowed slightly when he saw the old man approaching. This shows the old man's high status in the monster clan. Yi Xingqian vaguely remembered that this white-haired old man should be the only one of the demon clan, the only remaining wise man of the demon clan. Yi Xingqian looked at the old man whose eyes were shining with wisdom and bowed in the same way. Old man, I'm going to preach to the demon clan's newly transformed disciples. I really don't dare to show my shame. With you here, how can I need this junior to preach for the demon clan? Hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the white-haired old man's eyes flashed with wisdom, he smiled slightly, and the old voice sounded again. Emperor, there is no need to be humble. I have been a wise man of the demon race for many years. I know that I cannot compare with the great sages of the human race in terms of talent. However, I am extremely confident in my vision of people. The wise man from the demon tribe looked at Yi Xingqian, his eyes exuded a divine light, and his face was filled with incomparable confidence. I was born with double pupils, which can see through illusions and reach the essence. It is precisely because of these eyes that I have made no progress in my cultivation over the years. That is because I used all the fairy energy to cultivate my double pupils. At this moment, after hearing the words of the white-haired old man, Yi Xingqian looked carefully at the old man's eyes. Only then did Yi Xingqian realize that deep inside the old man's eyes, there was actually a pair of golden eyeballs hidden. The radiance of wisdom that emanates is exactly what these eyes radiate. At this moment, Luo Qingxian's voice rang out. Husband, those with double pupil are born with far better understanding and qualifications than the arrogant monsters. The double pupil itself is a symbol of strength. Over the years, all those with double pupil have dominated the world and dominated one side. However, for the future of the demon clan, the wise man used all the spirit energy to cultivate his eyes without improving his own cultivation. Therefore, his strength has always stayed in the golden elixir realm. If the wise man had not possessed the body of the demon clan, my lifespan is relatively long, maybe a wise man would have. After hearing Luo Qingxian's words, Yi Xingqian looked at the old man with deep admiration. He was supposed to be the most powerful person in the world, but he gave up everything he had for the sake of the entire demon clan. This is not something that ordinary people can do. It requires great perseverance and courage, and a selfless heart. After hearing Luo Qingshan's words, the white-haired old man shook his head slightly and said with a smile. Over the years, if it weren't for the demon clan and the Empress, I might have been gone long ago. I have wasted a lot of life-extending magic medicine. I am an old man and I don't want to drag down the demon clan anymore. If for so many years, if I hadn't spent countless spiritual stones in search of life-extending elixirs for the old man, why would the demon clan be so incapable of producing even the cultivation spiritual stones of the clan members? After hearing the white-haired old man's words, Luo Qingshan said directly. Wise man, you have sacrificed too much for the demon clan. During the several crises of the demon clan, the wise man saw through the fog and brought new life to the demon clan. If it were not for the wise man, the demon clan might have disappeared in the long river of history in front of countless people. At this moment, after hearing Luo Qingshan's words, countless demon clans around them all said. The Empress is right. For the sake of wise men, no matter how hard it is, you will not be afraid. Yes, now because of the Emperor, our demon clan will no longer lack spiritual stones in the future. We are looking for life-extending elixirs for the wise. I am willing not to use the spiritual stones in the clan from now on. Yes, I am willing too. There is me, I am also willing. Just as everyone was shouting yes, a louder and richer voice sounded. I, Emperor Zun, are an alchemy master. You are all stupid. Just ask me, Emperor Zun, if you know how to refine life-extending elixirs. Why don't you yell at me? As soon as Shang Wendi finished speaking, the eyes of countless people from the demon tribe looked in the direction of Shang Wendi's location. At this time, Kuei-hua, who was being shamelessly held by Shang, suddenly heard the words of this living treasure and saw the eyes of countless tribesmen looking towards the two of them. She suddenly turned red and looked shy. But everyone seemed not to notice, giving a thumbs up to Shang Feng, and then everyone turned to look at Yi Xingchen, with anticipation on their faces. Yi Xingchen looked at the expectant looks on everyone's faces, as well as Luo Qingshan, who was holding his hand tightly and looking nervous. Yi Xingchen smiled slightly and said nothing. Emperor Lian smiled but did not speak. A trace of disappointment flashed in the eyes of many demon clansmen. Unlike other members of the demon tribe, Luo Qingshan could see the answer she wanted to know from the expression on her husband's face. Just as she was about to speak, Shang Wen's honest voice rang out again. Who am I, the Emperor Zun boss? What are your eyes like? I believe that the Emperor Zun boss will definitely refine life-extending elixirs. I believe it too. Shang Wushan's voice also rang out. Hearing the words of Shang Wenwei and Shang Wushan, Yi Xingchen sighed inwardly. These guys are sincere and blindly believe in themselves. However, before Yi Xingchen could speak, the old voice of the demon clan wise man rang out at this moment. Emperor, do you know why I hope that Emperor will give a sermon to these demon clan's rigidly transformed disciples? Because I saw the future of the demon clan from Emperor Zun. Although it is foggy and cannot be seen clearly, I believe that these eyes will never see it wrong. Furthermore, I can't see through the Emperor's strength. Although the Emperor appears to be in the Shantian realm, it will never appear in a person in the Shantian realm. The supreme domineering energy wrapped around the Emperor's body is so direct. Even the powerful immortal Emperor has never had the power to rush to the 9 heavens, but I have seen it from the Emperor. Hearing the words of the wise man from the demon clan, Yi Xingchen's heart moved and he secretly said. You are worthy of being born with double eyes, possessing the magic of seeing through illusions and reaching the essence. If I hadn't possessed the Tao Chaos body and the Black Tortoise concealment technique, I might really have been seen through by these eyes. In the Shenhuang continent, you really can't underestimate anyone. Ah! Looking at the wisdom radiating from the eyes of the demon wise man, Yi Xingchen shook his head slightly and said with a smile. The old man may have misunderstood. The junior's cultivation is indeed in the innate realm. Surrounded by such domineering energy, it reaches the 9 heavens. The old man is too exaggerated. As for preaching to the disciples of the demon clan, since the old man has spoken, I should promise that tomorrow at noon in the 10,000 Demons Square, I will preach to the disciples of the demon clan. Anyone who is interested can come. Quote. The demon clan disciples around who had just transformed were filled with excitement when they heard Emperor Zun agreed. They all looked at Yi Xingchen with infinite admiration. At this time, after hearing Yi Xingqian's words, the eyes of the demon wise man flashed with wisdom, and his mouth smiled, full of meaning. Haha, I'm old. Maybe I really saw it wrong, but since the emperor agreed to preach for the demon clan disciples, I'm relieved. After the demon clan wise man finished speaking, he took a deep look at Yi Xingqian, turned around and left. Looking at the demon wise man who was about to leave, Yi Xingqian's voice rang out. The entire 10,000 demons square fell silent for an instant. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.